Hello, hello, hello. We are now live. Me and Tidus just gonna
Brennan, it still
chill.
says scheduled.
It says live on my screen.
It does. Let me
It, yeah,
let
we're
me
live 19 seconds, 20 seconds.
oh shoot. Let me check. Let me refresh.
Oh, all right. Well, then there was one. Tidus and I are just gonna be chilling and talking about the expanded universe. Um, Let me add
All
Tidus
right.
back in here. There we
It's
go.
all right. It's live on my screen now. That was
Okay,
just a
perfect,
little bit of an
perfect.
error.
So this was scheduled for 11. I had a bit of a delay, but Marcel was here a while back, and he's making sure to beat Blue Pig to the punch. Now, although I like the Thrawn trilogy, I tend to agree with that. Dark Empire is superior. What do you think, Titus?
Uh, well, from what I've read, I think that it's more fast paced than Heirs of the Empire, but I think that's mostly in part the fact that it's a comic book
Mm,
versus a novel. But I do agree with like some people's takes where they say that it's more fantasy like it's more Star Warsy than like Heir to the Empire, which is very much like a sci-fi, more sci-fi. It leans more into the sci-fi aspects,
hmm. Yeah,
and
sure.
yeah,
I can see that. And Veach wrote a lot of like the fantasy aspects of it, like Tales of the Jedi.
right,
It's quite
right.
fantasy, you know. At least I think it's kind of fantasy. But um, let's see. For Star Wars stuff, um, I was recently at a mega book sale in my area. They had literally hundreds of thousands of books here, 25% off, and all of them were under $5. So you're getting them for like $2, $3 a book. Uh, and I combed every single row, and they had no Star Wars book there. Not a single Star Wars book. It was quite a letdown. But I did manage to find some Star Trek novels for $1 each. So I got 9 Star Trek novels for $1 each, um, which I thought was pretty good. But um, I was disappointed there was no Star Wars stuff there. But
What else? You only found Star Trek stuff.
yeah,
No EU.
no EU, not even a canon Star Wars book. They had hundreds of thousands of books at this book sale. They had a huge sci-fi section and not one Star Wars novel there. Not even a Star Wars novel that I already had. It was quite surprising. I was there on the second day of the sale, so maybe they all went really fast the first day. But I don't know. Um, so yeah, I ordered the Crimson Empire Epic Collection. Um, Recently, it's gonna arrive on Monday. There's Slav. Hello, Slav. Um,
What's up, Slav?
um, I have a hunch, and I'm not sure how I have a hunch, but I have a hunch he's getting a certain Star Wars related product, hard to attain, in the next few weeks. Um, don't ask me how I know or
Indeed.
what it is, but what are you thinking about all that, Titus? Are you thinking you might eventually nab something from there?
Most definitely, he's definitely gonna uh, get something very rare and obtain hard to obtain. Perhaps a $800 copy of Anakin's Quest Junior Jedi Knights.
Is that the omnibus that collects them all,
No,
or
no, no.
oh no,
It's
this the
it's an
single copy?
Amazon listing from such a long time
Jeez,
ago.
man.
It's ridiculous. It was the same thing like this one Jedi Quest book. It went for like $1,000 nearly.
What
I
Jedi Quest book went for that much?
It was they were on Mouse there, I think. I don't know what it was called.
Um, look,
Let me see, Jedi Quest.
was it called
I know the book. when I see it. It's the Dangerous Games.
Okay. Why did that one sell for so much? That's weird.
I don't know.
I have that one. I got it for a lot with all the other ones. $40 for all the Jedi Quest books, and
That's a steal.
I got all the Jedi Apprentice ones for 70.
Thank you, Blue Pig. I am indeed a god.
Are you a vengeful deity, Titus?
Yes, I'm the Zeus of the EU. But I'm looking at it right now, like a listing for the Dangerous Game brand. It's a new copy, and it's 113.75. Like
Jeez,
what?
mine's really good condition.
But you look at the used copies, and then you get things like $6, 10, 11,
Right? Yeah.
12. It's
Now,
hilarious.
did you say Anakin's Quest sold for 400?
800, something like that,
800.
man.
Wow.
I can look it up right now on Amazon.
I have
It's always the Amazon listings.
so I have all the young Jedi Knights except or all the junior Jedi Knights except for Kenobi's Blade,
Yeah.
which was the last one, the sixth one. So that's really annoying because I almost have a complete set, but it costs like $60 for one young readers, and that's just a lot of money to pay for a young readers. The most money I ever paid for a young readers was the episode 2 adventure book called Zamwezel Strikes, and I paid $23 for that individual one.
Right.
Yeah,
No
I didn't.
Star Wars Jedi Quest should be $100. I concur.
Jedi Quest is
Nothing should be
not,
that much.
and Jedi Quest is like maybe if it was Jedi Apprentice, you'd consider it a bit more because Jedi Apprentice is top tier, but Jedi Quest is sort of I'm not gonna say mid, but it's just not as good. Um, I like Last of the Jedi as well, the other Jude Watson series. But nobody else seems to like it for some reason. Marcel is back.
Marcel, Doc, greetings.
Did you ever get around to reading Jedi Prince Titus?
Uh, Last year I read a little bit of book one, and I couldn't take it.
Really?
It's not because it was like it's not because like what I'm trying to say. It's not because like it's goofy or whatnot. It's just I personally found it boring.
Okay.
It was just
The,
kind
the
of
first
boring.
the first book was quite boring. It was a bit of a chore, but second to fifth were really solid, and then the sixth was a bit more boring. But overall, Jedi Prince is really solid. If you take it as a lighthearted adventure, you're gonna have a lot of fun with it. I read all six in 3 days, which apparently is taking your time with it because Ken Palpatine read them all in a day. Um,
Truly, his namesake lives up to it.
oh man, I can't even imagine what would that be like. Ultimate crossover event, Jarail Poof.
Jarail Poof. No.
Would it just be Jarail with a long neck?
And forearms.
Exactly.
Terrible.
Arcanian Quirmian hybrid.
And two hearts. That's awful.
Yeah. And she'd be really good at Jedi mind tricks too, right?
Yes, and delivering pizzas, of course. That's a Robot Chicken reference.
Hey, I know you. Thanks for stopping by. Um, it's cool to see
Hola, Granny Toes. I
lots
saw
of
you earlier
people I
today.
recognize. That's a great server. I'm really excited about that. Hopefully, this can be an interconnected um, fan fiction crossover. Um, okay, so currently on the market, I'm seeing it go 45 to 50 to 60 bucks.
They've gone down significantly.
Yeah, now I got Anakin's Quest for Steel. I got it for 12. Um, when it really dipped, but you're gonna look at quite a bit for each. Now, for young Jedi Knights, I recommend this to everyone. eBay is terrible for young Jedi Knights. The Amazon Marketplace, I got books 9 to 14 of Young Jedi Knights on Amazon Marketplace for $3 each, uh, plus shipping, but only paid about 30 for books 9 to 14, which was pretty good. Granted, that was a year and a half or so ago, but you should be looking about pretty decently cheap on Amazon Marketplace. On eBay, you're looking at a bit more per Young Jedi Knights book. Now, Junior Jedi Knights are extremely expensive, sadly. Um, I have 5 of the 6. I'm still looking for the 6th one, Kenobi's Blade, which is going for about 50 to 60 currently. So, they're quite expensive, unfortunately. Which they're really fun books. Lyric's World is one of my favorites. It's just quite a fun story. Awesome, awesome. That's really cool. Hope that all is going to work out great. Yeah, with my proposed project for Victory for the Force, if Troy Denning did indeed say in an interview that it would take Abeloth centuries to reform, then it's gonna definitely cause a major rewrite to that one. Which, if so, that's fine. Maybe Abeloth will instead fight Cade and Anya Solo and all of them. But yeah, I'm decently familiar with the lore. I've read all the adult Star Wars novels, most of the comics, quite a few of the short stories, played about half the video games. Yeah. Tidus, you still with me? Oh, he's on
Oh
mute.
yeah, I am. I'm still just researching some stuff.
Researching some prices.
Not prices.
The
Battlefront
best,
2 modding.
right?
But
Okay. The
that's
best thing for us EU fans is to look at all the expensive EU and think, I really wish I could afford that. I think we all do it. We all do it, right? We all browse eBay in a forlorn manner. Hello, Sentinel.
I mean, what's up, Sentinel? I mean, I haven't had much reason to do it. Because there's nothing like hard to obtain that really I have my eyes on. Well, besides Junior Jedi Knights, of course, I gotta find other 5 books. I only have one of them, and that's the second book, Lyrics World.
Lyrics
Uh,
World is a pretty solid story. Oh, Marcel's
mm,
here. Second. And that makes sense. The comment there. That should work well. Let's add Marcel in.
oh no, it's George Lucas.
Hey guys,
George.
I can't do it as good as Slav can, so I'm gonna try.
Yeah, the Slovakian can do it better.
Can you hear
Perhaps
me?
you can do a Troy Denning impression.
No, thank you. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we
Hear
can
you
hear you.
perfectly.
Sorry, I'm a bit late. I had to upload a video.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh, nice. You
Simp
uploaded a
Lord.
video.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's less than a minute, so easy watching.
Which one is it?
The Emperor's Eyes, Star Wars,
Oh, that's a good
the
one.
Old
Though.
Republic Codex entry. Yeah,
That's quite a good little story, in my opinion.
yeah.
I was surprised how many. I was surprised what an emotional roller coaster it was for being a paragraph long.
I know. Yeah.
I felt
The next one on the list is Frieden Nad's backstory, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I just wrote a summary for that yesterday.
The Naddest.
Writing summaries of every piece of Star Wars media for my chronological list because I'm looking to put it on Amazon. So I'm writing one sentence summaries for each thing, which is kind of painstaking because I'm having to go through everything and reread it to create a sentence.
I still need to get back to you with those 1-sentence summaries for the Tales of the Jedi stuff.
Oh,
I promise I will.
No worries. Take your time.
Okay.
Tidus, if you were free, you could help me with some of the KOTOR issues too.
What, editing?
Summarizing each issue in a sentence. For like
Summarizing each issue in a sentence.
Yeah. Now, I'm gonna do.
I have to reread it.
So, for those who don't know, Brennan is putting out a timeline. Can I plug your timeline for a second? Let me do this. You're putting out a time which is different from a chronology because your timeline is going to be a list, but it's like probably the most comprehensive list I've ever seen online for EU works because it has everything, short stories, but even like the most obscure short stories you've ever thought of. novels, video games, trailers, comics, everything you can think of is in there. It's how many hundreds of pages now?
It's about 200 currently.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So thanks. That's a great plug. I appreciate the kind words there.
It's my definitive source, and plus we keep adding to it, right? Like you just probably added the new Old Republic story to it that came out the other day.
I added that yesterday, and also embarrassingly, it took me like 2 hours to read the adventure journal story that I'd never read that's set in the Tales of the Jedi era.
Light and Shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took me a while to read it, and summarize that today, and got the short story, the new short story added on there. My fear though is that I'll get to near the end of it, and then there'll be like 2 or 3 more SWTOR short stories to add back in. I'll have to reshuffle everything.
You're gonna have to add like a rider to the end of it, or like a errata coda to the end of it, or something like that.
Perhaps, yeah, that might be the way to go.
Loose leaves.
Yeah, perhaps.
Do you know what a loose leaf is, or is that's like before your time?
That's paper.
Loose leaf is when they used to put out law books. There would always be changes to the law, so they'd have these loose leaf pages that you would basically like fit into the book, so that you'd have the most.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because, before you'd have like online databases of laws. Laws are changing with each election cycle, right? Going back and forth between different laws getting passed, right? So
yeah.
Even minor stuff. So yeah, it's always changing. Would have been a nightmare, 50, 60
130. Jeez.
Revolution hardcover. Yeah, that's a lot.
Deep. I only have all my EU novels in paperback, but I'm gonna eventually get them all in hardcover as well, and I eventually want to get them all with the Legends banner as well. Like long term, I want to have everything. But the hardcovers are so expensive that's what caused me to get it all in paperback to start with. I
found Facebook Marketplace is a really good resource for hardcovers. You might want to check it out.
On Facebook Marketplace, I messaged a seller who had the Kenner Transport Walker pamphlet magazine.
Right.
Do you guys know what that is? Matt Wilkins talked about it. It was released in like a toy box by Kenner, and it was like a 6-page short story. And they were looking for $20 for it, which I thought was a steal. But apparently someone came in and offered like $20 higher. And so they got it and not me. That's where that sad story ends.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Is my audio coming through okay as well?
Yep.
All right, perfect. That makes sense. If you didn't know, I'm gonna plug this. There's an F Canon Discord server currently where we, the fans, are creating a interconnected continuation of the EU. There's voting going on right now for what we keep and what we discard. Like, do we keep Hand of Thrawn 45's Sword of the Jedi, or do we throw it out in favor of creative freedom? And like with supernatural encounters, do we count that? I think we do because it's canon to the EU. But since we don't know how much information is in it, it could hamper some of the creative process for this interconnected fan fiction. But it's a very intriguing project in its infancy so far, and it looks like it's going to be really well mapped out. It's in very capable hands. Granny Toes, it feels weird to say that. Granny Toes here has been doing an incredible job managing that so far. Yeah, my watch list is similar on eBay. My watch list has a section that's young readers novels I don't have, mostly the mission books, right? Those are really hard to find. But
I mean, price is a big consideration, but also I'm finding increasingly space. I'm running out of space for things. And it's not because I have lots of things. It's because where I live is very small. So I run out of bookshelf space, or I run out of just regular shelf space for things, and it really sucks because I want things to look nice and not cluttered, but sometimes it's impossible.
I mean, I need a third shelf for my EU stuff and another shelf for my can collection. I collect empty soda cans. I know it's weird, but I have soda cans worth $300 empty. So it's a fun hobby I have on
Yeah,
the
it's
side.
pretty crazy.
But yeah, Lyrics World is definitely the best one from there. I know some people say Promises is the best one, but I thought Lyrics World was really solid. It was a really entertaining story. I really enjoyed the world that they created with, the melodies, which are essentially EU mermaids, and, these giant spiders encased, and this concept that the children don't become mermaids until age like 12 or 13. I can't remember exactly when. But so they have to fend themselves off from these predatory birds and spiders until they can evolve into being mermaids at like 12 or 13 and be safe in the water. So it's a very interesting concept. I love Lyrics World. Have either of you read it?
I have not.
I have read Lyrics World, yes.
What's your feeling of Junior Jedi Knights, Marcel?
And I love it. It's not my favorite young readers series. I would say that is probably Young Jedi Knights, with a special mention of Jedi Apprentice.
Okay, Jedi Apprentice is solid. I always considered Young Jedi Knights its own category. On my chronological list, instead of listing it as a young reader's novel or a novel, I've listed it as a young adult novel.
Then
So
I would
step in between, right?
I would pivot to Galaxy of Fear would be my third.
Okay, nice. I love Galaxy of Fear. Now that I have most of it, I need to do a read through again because I read it. Book 1, 2, 4, 6, 9 is how I read it. So I had like fragmented parts of it. So thanks in part to Marcel for sending me one of his extra copies. Paying extra international shipping to get me an extra copy, which was really, really nice.
It was like $10. It's all good, man.
I'm gonna keep mentioning it. Canadian goodwill and hospitality, right? That Canadian friendliness, right, Marcel?
Yeah, we're all neighbors, but literally, you and I are kind of neighbors. So
yeah, I mean, I'm closer to you being in a different country than any of the other EU fans I know.
It's kind of crazy.
Okay, so each individual piece of media receives its own isolated entry. The entry includes the title, the order placement, the in-universe state, the publisher, the author, a short one-sentence summary, the cover. Let's see, I'm missing something. The publication year, and the type of media it is, and each individual short story, video game, webcomic, comic, short comic, novel, novella, short story, young reader's novel, young adult novel, video game, short film, television series, film, all of, I might have missed a couple things, journals, in-universe websites, all receive their own individual entry with all of that information about it.
Like even the what are those KOTOR like bulletins, news bulletins that get their own entry as well?
The Terrace Holofeed.
Terrace Holofeeds, those are the ones.
The Terrace Holofeeds are really good. I'm going to mention this when I get to it in my reviews, but my reviews are going to halt a little bit in the next upcoming weeks because I'm trying to get this out as soon as I can, which is a momentous task. I'm aiming for January, February-ish if I work every day, but then I might start to pull a Joe Bongiorno and, it might get released 4 years later instead of only a couple weeks, which is no intended shade to Joe, but I'm trying to hold myself accountable for when I want to put it out. But I'm trying to do like a Tales from the Galaxy thing with Matt Wilkins. And put it on Amazon, but it's going to be 200 full color pages, so it's going to be quite expensive. So I might opt for a black and white copy as well, but then it would ruin this color coding system I have with it for easier navigation. But my reviews of the EU in order are going to halt a bit as I spend most of my free time working on the list there. Will work out well though. Marcel will get ahead of me in his short stories by quite a bit, and it'll take me a while to catch up, which means I can keep, linking to his readings.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a bad thing because I'm sure there will come a time when I'm too busy to really get any done in any good time, and then that'll allow you time to catch up, right? So it works out well that way.
Tidus, I wanted to ask you about the new Transformers show that came out because I saw it advertised the other day. I wondered what you thought of it. Is it like TCW but Transformers?
No, it's
No.
You have lost.
A simp lord?
A simp lord.
So what's it like?
Man, the show it's not like TCW. Animation wise, show's fine, but
Can you
overall,
remind me what it's called? It's called Spark something, right?
or Earth Spark, yeah.
Earth Spark. Got it.
But in all honesty, like the show's kind of mid. It has like a couple good voice actors. I don't know, it's just not my thing, and I don't like the new characters. It's like this weird lore they're doing. They're not even Cybertronian. They're called Terrans, and it's like kind of a ridiculous concept because
Is it its own universe then, isolated from everything else, not connected to Prime or anything?
I mean that's most Transformers media. Hasbro they can't do continuity for shit. The aligned continuity was like the biggest flop in Hasbro history. It's like they're trying to do this whole connected universe thing, like the EU, right? And it was going to consist of the War for Cybertron games, Prime, the Rescue Bots cartoon, even, but it none of it lined up with each other. Prime and Rescue Bots lined up more than they did with the Cybertron games. And part the reason why that's because the writers of Prime didn't want to be beholden to a game. So, they contradicted it, and I don't know. A lot of details are different. Like in Prime, there's details how Bumblebee gets his vocal cords ripped out by Megatron, and in Fall of Cybertron, I literally believe they just gets his vocal cords taken out off screen, or I could be forgetting something from War for Cybertron, or how Grimlock and the Dinobots as a whole go unmentioned. But there was a comic that IDW came out with. Yeah, I'm getting off topic.
No worries.
But Earthspark, I don't know. It's a mid show. I don't like this concept of Terrans. It's like there are Cybertronians that have
how is Terran spelled?
It's like Terran.
So like humans, like
Yes.
how humans are called. Okay.
And they share they're bonded with human beings, and they are imprinted with human DNA or something. I don't know. It's just how they describe the concept at first. It sounds ridiculous because they said they're the first Transformers born on Earth. But obviously, not everything in Transformers is interconnected. But there's Transformers that are born on Earth. The Dinobots, and at least the original continuity, the Dinobots are literally built on Earth, or depending on your poison that you want to pick, the Constructicons are also made on Earth. But in the original '80s cartoon, contradicted that 2 seasons later, saying that they were on Cybertron. But I'm not gonna go into that right now. Just know that the '80s G1 cartoon, the only way that people would say that it's great is if they're just completely clouded by nostalgia. Overall, it's like a terribly mid show with bad animation errors, but I think peak
the old one or the Earthspark?
Old one. They're both mid. Earthspark has great animation, but G1, the original, that's poo poo. I think the pinnacle of Transformers cartoons
Prime.
are Prime is there. It's in the
Prime's
top
the only
3.
one I've seen. Prime's the only one I've seen so
It's
far.
good. Prime would be number 3. Beast Wars number 2.
Okay.
And Transformers Animated number 1. That
Isn't there?
Transformers Animated is the pinnacle.
There's a Beast Wars movie coming out, right?
Yes, Rise of the Beast.
You're excited for that one?
Yes. I'm hoping it's good because Bumblebee was phenomenal. It's like the
And
only
Bumblebee was
consistently
like
good movie.
Bumblebee was like the Iron Man, the first one in the this new universe, right?
Yes.
It's discarding all of the films
Michael
where
Bay
the guy likes
movies.
to
They've
blow
done
stuff
away
up.
with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael blow stuff up Bay.
Yeah. It's good he's been scrapped because weird directions he was going there.
I have a little experience with the Facebook Marketplace, but what I've got from Facebook Marketplace is cans instead of books. Lots of cans on there, and I didn't work out so well for the books I tried to get there. But that being said, I've found Facebook Marketplace is harder to get a deal done. The seller's going to try to squeeze more money than the list price in the scenarios I've encountered. Marcel might have different experiences, but I found it to be a treacherous, cutthroat place rather than eBay being a bit more civil. Great deals for sure, but the sellers are not always the kindest. Marcel?
Yeah, my experience has been completely different. Although a couple times I've had to drive really out of the way to meet these people, right? Like people I find on Facebook Marketplace will not ship. A couple
Okay,
people
so
have.
here all 5 or 6 orders I've made on Facebook Marketplace, they've shipped.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a difference between the Facebook Marketplace here and the one there.
Yeah, I mean, I did get one guy to ship me a bunch of Star Wars hardcovers, but I bought like a bunch of things on Facebook Marketplace. I bought an album from a band called Tangerine Dream off of Facebook Marketplace for like $15, which if you were to like look on eBay, it would go for over 100. So that was kind of a steal. I got a bunch of D&D not novels, sorry, D&D source books that
non-Star
would
Wars.
probably go not Star Wars, no, just
Okay.
Dungeons and Dragons, but like old like first edition stuff that would go for like maybe $50 a pop. And I got 4 of them for like 10-15 bucks each. Although the only thing is like I had to drive kind of far, and so I almost wonder like maybe it was kind of a wash with the gas that I had to spend. But the people that I've dealt with have been largely pleasant. There have been a couple times where I've like asked, "Is this still available?" and then I don't hear back from that person,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate. Because then they'll keep listing it or they'll relist it, and I'm like, "Well, if it was still available, why didn't you get back to me? I would have bought it from you."
One person messaged me back about an item I'd asked if it was available a year ago, and then they like messaged me just a couple days ago. This was, and they were like, "Yeah, I gave it to an antique store, so go buy it there." And then they gave me the address.
That's outrageous. That's unfair.
It's outrageous. It's unfair.
Yeah, Xanatos is from Jedi Apprentice, and massive spoilers. So, mute Pronto. His son is actually the villain of Jedi Quest. So it's a little dynasty between those Jude Watson books. Going there with dark side users.
I love it.
You love that I spoiled it, or
The Dynasty.
The Dynasty there. Okay.
Can you hear me all right? I'm like very far back from my mic right now.
Oh, I can hear you fine right now.
This is excellent.
So I ordered a mic, right? But it had a headphone jack for the mic. So it was supposed to plug into the headphone jack, this mic. But since that's my output and not my input, it wasn't registering sound. So I need to get a headphone jack to USB-C converter, so it'll go into one of my USB-C ports. So hopefully that'll give me a mic. and I bought this mic for recording lines for the Lightsider audio drama.
Yep.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Even if I'm just some Revel technician in the background, um, I thought having a mic would make it sound a bit better.
Do you want to plug the Lightsider audio drama a bit? I mean, maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves, but it looks like it's moving along quite smoothly. So
I would think it'll be out by next summer.
Yeah.
The way it's going right now.
Yes, that's the estimated release.
So
And
I guess for those who don't know, who end up watching the stream or watching it now, Lightsider is a piece of expanded universe media that was written by Tom Veitch, I believe back in the 90s, and it was never released because his contract with Lucasfilm was canceled for Lightsider. It recently resurfaced and was released to the community at large.
Resurfaced? You mean Matt Wilkins was finally forced to admit that it existed?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I think he admitted it existed a while ago, but he finally acknowledged that he's had it on his shelf for the last 8
Decade.
years. Yeah, decade.
I asked him point blank in a stream in 2018 and again in 2020 if he had it, and it's on his shelves, and he said with a straight face, no, he didn't have it. He said something like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so, I mean, Lightsider's out, and Darth Matu, who has his own YouTube page.
Warrior...
Warrior's Way. Well, I think it's Darth Matu's Holocron.
Yes, that's the YouTube.
Yeah. Him and Greyholm Winterblade are creating a Lightsider audio drama, and they're just going through castings right now. So eventually, I guess we'll all start recording our lines. And
a certain someone I know is the narrator. Well deserved.
That's right. I'll be narrating Lightsider.
Man, that's so good. It really is.
Today we'll be reading Lightsider. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to say that.
But it would be great if for all your lines, for each line you said, this has been reading with the Revanchist, every single paragraph you send in.
Imagine. I would never do that. But
make it a real nightmare for his editing.
Marcel,
what's up, Tidus?
Could you say a simp lord, but in your narrator voice?
A simp lord? A simp lord?
Could you say in your narrating? Could you say your narrating voice, which sounds intelligent? Could you say in your narrator reading voice, quality autism Noah is wrong. Denning is the GOAT.
Oh yeah, sure, I can do that. Although I should say that I'm kind of like lukewarm on Denning. So I'm like the balanced Jedi in between you, Quinlan, on the light side and Noah on the dark side. So
well, you forget Alex is on the light side with me too.
That's true. Although Alex is more like he's more like the Qui-Gon Jinn of the light side. You know, I sort of see the trace sometimes. You're like the Obi-Wan Kenobi of the Denning fandom. Okay, so
and Noah's the Anakin then. So what are you? The
I'm the Lannery Brock. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Here, let me do it. Quality autism. Noah is wrong about Denning. Denning is the GOAT.
That clip's going to be everywhere without the context of you saying you're lukewarm.
Oh, great. I besmirched my good name. I told you, Dark Nest trilogy, I know you enjoyed it, but that got me to stop reading Star Wars for like almost a decade.
Fair enough. Bad. There's some weird stuff in there.
Yeah.
But you know, it's fine. Hey, Liam's here. I'm gonna get back to reading all these comments in a second.
Hola, Liam.
Liam's hopefully gonna join. He was planning on it earlier, so we'll see about that. Let's see. I was thinking about reading Lightsiders on my YouTube, but I haven't done it yet because. Yeah, fair enough. I actually was gonna do the same thing. I recorded the first 4 chapters and listened to them back, and I was like, yeah, I'm not posting this. Like in my mind, I was reading it like narrator Marcel, but in reality, I was reading it like an Alvin and the Chipmunk. That's how it sounded. I'm reading Supernatural. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do actually, because I'm super excited for Supernatural Encounters, I'm gonna read each page Wikipedia on a device in one hand. And say what you want about Wikipedia, it's still a good, quick go-to source for EU material.
You should go on Joe Bongiorno's Wikipedia page and see what they have to say about Supernatural Encounters. Canceled
Yeah,
project.
it annoys me. It really
Yeah.
annoys me what they say. Um, that sucks. I hate that because he's putting in so much work. But what I'm gonna do with Supernatural Encounters is do a breakdown of each page for lore information. Oh, Liam's here.
Hey, Liam.
Hello.
It's been a minute.
It
Liam.
has been a minute. I agree with what you said about Wikipedia. I definitely use that a lot.
Yeah, it's helpful for like quick go-to source. Like I have the complete encyclopedia, but like it takes a while to flip through that, and that only goes up to 2008. So grab your phone, type it in, find it quick. It's pretty nice.
Yep, I already have the fandom app downloaded, so I just immediately go on there. It's my favorited thing that I have on my little list there. I just immediately click on it, and everything's there. It's really easy. You just search up one thing, boom.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, and he only good games mentions this. This is something I'm hesitant about too. Rebels tie-ins. Ooh, that's a bit controversial, right? But
Oh,
I have
now
faith
there,
that Joe will do it justice to the E EU.
now yes, now I discovered something today. I discovered that there is precedence for this. There was a canon first concept that was introduced into Legends. I'm gonna make a video about it soon.
oh,
I
really?
don't want to reveal too much, but there is like everyone talks about the EU
Interesting.
going into canon, right? But there's actually one thing that I've found that was canon first, and they put it into the EU. Do you know what that is? Anyone?
No.
Tis was
No
that?
idea.
So, good. I have a good video on my hands then. Maybe I'll
Don't tell
post
me.
that.
I'd rather just find out in your video.
Was it the vehicles?
It's not vehicles, but there are a couple vehicles, if I remember correctly, right in the source in those
Imperial Handbook.
Imperial Handbook. Yeah.
The
This is-
prototype TIE Advanced.
Impossible. Perhaps the archives are incomplete.
That's really good, Marcel.
Wait, I want to say something here. Liam, did you say there was a Wikipedia app?
Not technically, but there is an app you can download called Fandom on your phone. It's also a website on the actual internet, and it has the entire Wikipedia inside of it. If you just go there,
A Wikipedia app?
So
kind
Wikipedia
of, yeah. Just search up Fandom on the App Store.
Wikipedia was its own site, but it got bought out by Fandom. Wikia got bought out by Fandom, so like all the Wikias are now on Fandom.
Yeah.
I'm downloading this as we speak in real time.
Oh yes, it's a very good app. It has other stuff other than just Wikipedia, but that's definitely my main source of the Fandom app. But I use it for other stuff like I sometimes look it up for new gaming news and stuff like that for like a new Call of
they
Duty
have
game or something.
Speaking
blogs,
of new
right? They
gaming
have
news,
blogs.
I just bought Pokemon Violet today.
Nice.
But I heard on Twitter that the game is a mess.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I've never played anything Pokemon related in my life. I have too many hobbies. Maybe
I
I'll
know that you
eventually get around
haven't
to it.
because you said Pokemon instead of Pokemon, which is the preferred pronunciation.
Well,
Oh,
Pokemon.
Marcel there has me in checkmate.
May I tell you that
I'm also
Pokemon
in
is
checkmate here too.
the largest IP in the world? If you look up
Doesn't-
largest
I
Wait,
thought it was
really?
Harry Potter.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
IPs in the world,
Yep.
I will Wikipedia, not Wikipedia. List of highest grossing media franchises is Pokemon with 118.5 billion. Would you like to know the top 4? Mickey
Yes.
Mouse and Friends is 82.9 billion, so it doesn't even really come close. Winnie the
Bad
Pooh is
Guys.
81. Yeah,
Winnie the Pooh is above Mickey Mouse. I'm
81 million.
surprised.
And guess what number 4 is? Star Wars at 69.4 billion.
Oh yeah. I knew that had to be up there for sure.
It's the fourth.
I think Marvel's eventually going to overtake
Maybe
it.
the fourth.
The MC. So the issue with Marvel is that they
Not just the MCU, but the comics. It's all
they
going to
parse it out. But the MCU is 38 billion, so it's getting up
Wow.
there.
Yeah.
And the Wizarding World, Harry Potter, is 33.06 billion. It's in the top 10, but it's not number.
Harry Potter is the one like popular franchise I never got into.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Harry Potter either.
It was just really bad.
Me too.
I didn't like it.
Me too. I never got into it either.
Tidus, are you the only Harry Potter fan here?
Oh no, I do. I've never seen Harry Potter. That's more my uncle's thing.
A lot of people talk about what house they're in. I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, I was.
Are you a Quintupfok?
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. Are you a Rumpelstiltskin? It's like
a Rumpelstiltskin. Oh my gosh.
And Only Good Games here. Yeah, I did the same thing. I got a hardcover and paperback, and my brother got a paperback because we got like our anagram names in it. So they like switched up the letters of our names and put it as characters in Supernatural Encounters. So I cannot wait. I got the pre-order thing in July of last year. So I'm just so ecstatic for Supernatural Encounters to come out. New EU. However, we did get New EU yesterday. A brand new short story on Star Wars The Old Republic's website set in the old timeline.
I saw your Instagram post about that.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
It's great. So they've published a couple things. In 2015, they published something. Again in 2017. Again in 2019. Then there was silence. And then in 2021, we got 2 stories. Quite a story to tell and Seeing Red. And then this year, we've gotten 2. We got quite a... what was it? It was All That's Left. And then the one that we got yesterday was called Bottled Fury. So they're really short, and you don't have a lot of context for them, so you don't really know what's going on. I assume it ties into the game. But, new EU, regardless, a couple of new paragraphs, right?
I'm still glad they're keeping up with the Old Republic, though. I feel like that's a really good thing. I'm just glad we're getting new EU content.
And we got a video game update this year. It doesn't run on Apple, so I can't play SWTOR yet. So I'll need to get like a Windows or something to be able to run it eventually.
Brennan, when you do play SWTOR for the first time, I still have to beat the main campaign with 4 of the 8 classes. I've beaten the campaign with the Jedi Knight, Jedi Consular, Sith Inquisitor, and Sith Warrior, but I still have to do Bounty Hunter, which is a dark side class, Imperial Agent, which is a dark side class, and then Republic Commando and Smuggler, which are both light side classes. So I am happy to play with you as one of those classes.
That would be super, super fun. But
if you want, you guys can play with me too, because I'm a complete noob at that game.
Nice.
It's great that you've even been able to play it at all. I keep downloading it, and I tried to download like converters to Apple, like mods of the game that would allow it to play on Apple, and emulators and stuff, but none of it worked.
Time for me to buy you a PC.
I played it for a few seconds and I couldn't even figure out the controls. Like when you're on Python and you're fighting your first monster, I was like, how do I use my lightsaber?
It auto uses it. All you need to do is target it, and then you can press the various buttons.
Yeah, it's got the weird controls like KOTOR. I didn't like the controls for KOTOR very much. I preferred like, hacking like crazy in Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed, yeah. I was so used to Force Unleashed controls because that's the only other Star Wars games I've played, and I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah, we can do a StreamYard one day, and I can kind of like if you share your screen with me, or I share my screen with you, I can show you some things.
All right, that sounds like a good idea.
Can you help me out with that? I still struggle with KOTOR. I've been replaying it, and I'm like thinking this is way harder than I remembered because I'd played the Force Unleashed and the Jedi Knight and Dark Forces and Republic Commando in between. Right. And all of those games you're like mashing down on buttons and just destroying everything. And going back to KOTOR, it was like was quite a change because then I was like, why do my weapons not do anything?
I mean, well, that's the issue. With KOTOR, actually, it might help when we actually do play the Dark Strider campaign. Because the way that the KOTOR system runs, it runs on, it's not a D6 system like the Dark Strider campaign will be. That means just like the 6-sided dice D6 when I say that. But it's a very similar concept where you have like I think 20-sided dice is what KOTOR. It uses like what we call Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 edition type rules, where you can allocate skill points and various feats and that kind of thing. But I
Nice.
think just playing a pen and paper RPG might help you understand what's going on in the KOTOR mechanics.
Yeah,
That's something that I'm thinking about doing because I know there's a vast majority of people around my area and at my school who enjoy those types of things. So that might be something I might try to get into.
I would strongly recommend it. I think it helps build confidence. It helps, thinking on your feet, that kind of thing. Really good skills. And also take advantage of it, because when I was growing up, there was nobody who was doing that kind of thing. And I didn't start playing tabletop RPGs until I was well into my 20s. And by then I didn't have as much time as I did when I was in high school, right? So if you can, I would take advantage of it.
Ooh, only good games.
Marcel, remind me, because in KOTOR 1 and 2, the dark side ending is considered non-canon, just like the Force Unleashed, and the light side ending is considered canon.
That's right.
With SWTOR, all of the classes are considered canon to a degree, correct? That's
right. The storylines, I believe, are considered canon. There is no light side, dark side ending. They all overlap. I mean, there's like one ending for each character.
Is there any contradiction between the classes?
I mean, like, yeah, there could be. Like, for example, it's like, but like minor contradictions. Like, yeah, you like release the Rakghoul virus in the side quest, or like you give it to one person, or you sell it to another person, or something like that. But the main story beats are all, I would say, largely consistent. It's just that there's so much content, trying to parse through it is madness.
Interesting. That's good to know. Yeah, and like Only Good Games was saying, I'm not a big fan of the idea of mixing canons. Editing Tarkin in the EU, or like fitting
it just
rebels.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I would say that. But however, if you take the characters, like the Ghost crew, and say that they're in the EU, and not the events like Depa Bilaba and stuff like that, some of it doesn't line up, and like the creation of the rebel symbol doesn't line up for rebels to being in the EU. But if you take the characters, and the character names and nothing else, like none of the backstory, I mean, theoretically, you could just put them in there, I guess.
I would love that, though. Honestly, I have enjoyed Rebels quite a bit, and I'm not that much into Disney stuff, but things like Rebels and The Mandalorian I've actually genuinely enjoyed, so I wouldn't mind seeing something like that. That'd be a good idea.
That's great. Yeah. I heard someone saying that there was a character from Mandalorian who they think, Ken Palpatine was saying there's a Mandalorian character who they didn't use that much, who he thinks could fit perfectly in the EU and like connect to the Killix from Dark Nest, which it was like a bug doctor character or something.
Yeah, I told Ken that I would read his pitches this weekend, the Jedi Commando one, and
yeah, he's got some good pitches up there.
I'm gonna try and read them tomorrow morning. I'm gonna also try and record tomorrow morning.
And Liam, what we're talking about is there's like this fan fiction effort where we're all collaborating to create one shared fan fiction universe to continue the EU in like a non-official capacity. It's in its infancy, but the leader of the project, Granny Toes, is their username. A little bit weird, but username, but capable hands seemingly. Doing a good job organizing it, and with Greyholm Winterblade, random anonymous guy, is like the vice president there. He's a good worker and gets things done and organized fairly quickly.
I'm very happy to hear all of that. I know I'm still really new to the EU, but it's nice to know that we still are continuing this even nowadays after everything
Mhm.
that's happened.
For sure, it's been a dark couple of years, especially for me personally. Um,
Have you
then
been watching those videos that Chris Nelson and Dylan have been putting out about the history of the fandoms from
yeah,
2014 to present? Yeah, I haven't seen the most recent one, but those are really, really good. Like if you go on
I
Chris Nelson's channel.
I watched half of the first one, all of the second one, a bit of the third one, and a bit of the fourth one. I need to sometimes sit down and watch them all, but at the
Yeah,
same time,
me
I have higher priorities. Like I want to watch your podcast.
They're in my watch later list. I think I saw a thumbnail for Chris's video, and I just threw it in my watch later section. I'll have to watch that at some point.
Chris has such a calming voice. If you're ever frustrated, just pop on a Chris Nelson video and you'll achieve zen.
Yeah, I love Chris Nelson's voice. I think it's just very pleasing to listen to.
He has a voice
And
that could get babies to sleep, right?
yeah, and Dylan, I just love seeing his enthusiasm in those videos. Like it's just
I'm
uh,
when Dylan's there, I'm just there to see his couch, his legendary couch.
his legendary couch. But even like his enthusiasm for what he's talking about, it's just infectious. It makes me excited about what he's talking about, and I think that's just a really unique trait.
Like when he smiles about what he's talking about, you can't help but like smile watching it.
Yeah, exactly. He's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
I love that series though. Really great. If you should try and sit down and watch all of them. I look forward to watching the fourth one when I get around to it.
If I do that, it's going to definitely have to be sometime next week, because this weekend I want to mainly focus on grinding out the Bane trilogy, because I started the first book. I think I'm on chapter 13 now. But I kind of got busy with midterms this week at school, but I definitely want to grind that out this weekend. It sounds like a lot of fun.
The one thing that you can do, I mean, you're gonna have to have the YouTube app playing, but like you don't have to watch it per se. You can listen to it, right? Like it's not like they're throwing things up on the screen. So
Okay, good to know.
With all of Matt Wilkins' videos, I would just put it in my headphones and listen to like his videos while like on a treadmill.
although then you miss Matt's amazing facial expressions.
Yeah.
That's you can't miss Matt's face, I suppose. But
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because now that you mentioned that, I'm just thinking of all the of all the memed of all the memed versions of his face on our Discord.
I have a folder on my computer. I'll send everyone a screenshot later. It's literally just called Wilkins Pics, and I have like I think it's 250 or so Wilkins Pics on there.
Oh my gosh.
He's a very expressive man.
Indeed.
Tidus.
I think we put Tidus to sleep.
I think Tidus is gone now. I think he's probably just in the back eating cereal.
Tidus.
He's probably trying to finish his cereal right now.
What's up? What's up?
Tidus has a pretty good face though too. A facial expression. The Excitus face is my new favorite.
Is my favorite.
It's my new favorite emote in the server.
What's your favorite EU book, Tidus?
Lisa?
What is your favorite expanded universe novel, Tidus?
Oh my favorite novel, Dark Lord: Rise of Darth Vader.
Wow.
Fair enough.
I haven't read that one, but that sounds like a really good one.
It's great.
Liam, it's sort of intended to be like the third book of a trilogy.
Yeah.
It's like the Lucino
Labyrinth of
trilogy.
Evil, Revenge of the Sith.
I've heard of the Dark Lord trilogy. It was like an after the fact trilogy, I think.
Yeah, it's not. It's like a trilogy, kind of in thematically speaking, because the Rise.
It wasn't released as one.
Matt Stover.
Yeah, it wasn't originally intended to be one, but the styles are so similar. Even the covers are similar.
Indeed.
And they literally take place within months of each other, all these books.
I love the covers. They're really cool. Well, that's one of the other things, aside from just the writing style, that really draws me into a book, is just how good is the cover art.
And let me tell you, Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void, I didn't like it before, but that new cover
Oh, it's
is
so disgusting.
it's so good. It is one of the best covers I've ever seen.
Maybe I'm just so
piece of
bitter.
art. No. I'm being sarcastic. It's one of the worst covers I've ever seen.
Oh, okay. I thought. Oh, maybe am I being bitter here?
Okay.
It was so great that you used it as a troll cover for your thumbnail on your
For my
all
Dawn of the
Jedi.
Jedi video.
I will say that cover is growing on me.
Oh,
And
Growing.
Don't
the
you
reason
dare.
the reason why, I'll tell you why. It's like this movie. It's like watching a terrible movie that's so bad that it's actually
good.
funny. Yeah, it's good.
So you're saying the new cover is like Sharknado?
So it's like the Crystal Star.
Okay,
I'm gonna
first of
look
all,
it up.
It's so awful.
not
It's
bad. It's
great.
actually good. Okay, the Crystal Star is just good.
I thought the Crystal Star was so bad it's good. Or was that Jedi Prince?
Crystal Star is what's bad about it. It's an amazing novel.
I'm just saying. I mean, Noah says it's so terrible that it's actually a masterpiece.
It's the Crystal Star is incredible. Okay,
Oh no.
I'm gonna start reading out Waru quotes.
But which one's better, Marcel? Crystal Star or Jedi Prince? You gotta choose one.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm looking at the new cover right now for Dawn of the Jedi. It doesn't even look like Lannery.
No, it doesn't. How
She
can you
fell
make
off.
me choose that? Tidus, I can't choose between those two.
I know you can't. It's a hard choice. Better choose.
If I had to only say keep one around, I would probably keep Jedi Prince around.
Over Crystal Star.
Yeah, I hate myself
guys-
now. Thank you.
Can you guys see this? Loading up this beautiful, beautiful cover.
Oh no! Oh,
The others aren't that much better. One's a filtered picture of Yoda, and one's a Republic Commando image that doesn't even look like anything to do with the book.
If we're gonna be talking about bad covers, Brennan, after you're done looking up Dawn of the Jedi, I want you to type into Google. I promise it's like safe for work, or school or whatever. Heir to the Empire Czechoslovakian cover.
No, please
Oh my
don't look it up.
gosh.
Don't look it up.
I've
You're
seen
not
that.
looking at the second version.
Oh my gosh!
Well, we can look at the Brazilian version after to ease our pain.
Oh,
I've seen like all
man.
the different versions of like some of the cover. Like
Here.
I've seen all the
If you're gonna do
covers.
that.
On Wikipedia, another amazing way to find out some of this information.
Brennan, if you're gonna pull up the check cover, man, like pull up the Union
There we go.
unused artwork
Oh my!
with the Goblin Mara
What?
Jade and dried
What
up
is
Luke.
that?
Wait,
When
hold
was
on,
that
zoom it in.
released?
I can't see this.
There we go.
Here, let me-
Look at that.
What?
It's awful. It's
can
awful.
What
show
is
what you guys-
that? Look at Chewbacca.
Look at Thrawn. Look at him.
Thrawn looks like a vampire.
He does. He looks like Dracula. Oh my gosh! The only genuinely semi-good-looking one is the Mr. Blue Finger Hands over here.
Sabayoth, Joru Sabayoth. Look, I'm going to tell you though, this cover is brilliant because Luke and Leia kind of actually look like twins on this cover.
That's Leia.
Fair
That looks
enough.
like Sarah. How does that look?
They do
like Mary
Chewie
Leia?
so bad though. Oh my goodness!
He looks like the Lorax.
Chewie.
He looks like the Lorax.
He does look like the Lorax.
Hey,
Seriously,
I've
look
got
up a
I've
picture
got
of the Lorax.
I've got a palette cleanser for us if it'll load.
Heir to the
Okay.
Empire Brazilian
Like the-
cover.
Those are
Yeah, have you
great.
seen these?
I'm
No.
not.
These are glorious. Is it pulling it up? There it is.
Oh, these
Gorgeous,
are like
right?
Whoa!
Real
I love the
cover.
one in the middle especially.
Yeah, the one in the middle is great, isn't it? They're so nice. I want to go out and buy the Brazilian covers just to have those. Look at them.
is that
The last-
is that Heir to the Empire cover supposed to be like that battle on Merkur that he gets into when he gets
I
into the
think-
forest?
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. And then obviously Sabayoth and Luke there, and then Thrawn and Paleon. That last one is so good. But the second one's probably the standout one. I love how he's like in front of the Star Wars logo a bit.
Although the Star Wars and
so
Luke
good.
one, for Dark Force Rising, that doesn't actually happen in that book, does it?
I don't know if it does. I don't think it does. You're right.
No.
Have you seen the Galaxy of Fear German covers?
No.
They're horrifying. Just a second.
Uh-oh.
The bad way. Let me see if I can find them. It was on the
Brennan.
subreddit the other day. Yeah.
Brennan, once you get done with this, you need to pull up the unused artwork for the Union comic.
Oh yeah,
no.
that's horrifying.
You have to show everyone the goblins.
I have not seen them, so I'm interested.
Do you see this Galaxy of Fear cover, guys? The German version of Galaxy of Fear.
That's a cursed cover.
Whatever that
what
baby is,
that?
it's not even in the book. It's not even in the book.
It's just
like
a giant
baby with sharp
baby
teeth.
head.
It's got like sharp teeth too. It's so weird. Let me grab the Union one next. There's lots of variant covers of Galaxy of Fear too, like this one here. But let me see. Unused Star Wars Union art. Can you guys still see everything? I can't see if my screen's still being seen. Is it?
Yes, sadly.
There it is.
We're seeing this.
No. Here
There it is.
Where Luke
the
looks
goblins.
like a demented zombie.
Yes. He looks nothing like Luke or Mark Hamill.
Where is it?
And then let's not get started about Mara Jade.
Why does Mara Jade look so horrific?
She looks like the Desperate Housewife. The redhead.
She's the goblin.
Why does Han look so weird too? And look
Leia's the only normal looking person in the entire image.
Here, I think
that's Lando.
Lando and
Oh
Han
my
look
gosh.
deformed.
And the Force spirits are wrong too. Like, why does Obi-Wan look so?
Don't talk about Anakin. Don't talk about Anakin.
Old Anakin back there. It looks so creepy the way he's grabbing her wrist. I don't know why. And the way he's grabbing her shoulder, it doesn't look loving. It looks threatening.
Okay, we need another palette
cleanser like that.
I say you pull up one of those Japanese NJO covers.
Japanese NJO arts. Those are lovely.
Or some of his other work.
Japanese NJO covers.
I really like his Yoda Dark Rendezvous cover.
Oh, the Yoda Dark Rendezvous one's really good.
He made Ventress look even more beautiful.
These are the Japanese art for the New Jedi Order books. Aren't they gorgeous?
Indeed.
Look at the art for these. These coming through?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Loud and clear, kid.
I like that impression.
These are really nice, aren't they, though? The colors really pop, don't they?
Oh, man, they have to have a Waru Black
Most
series.
Definitely.
Lobaka
a Waru
here.
Black series.
Yeah.
Lobaka looks so cool here.
The box would be too big.
Lobaka.
Oh, that looks really cool.
Would you pay $300, Marcel, for a Black series Waru?
I wouldn't pay you know what?
Like a massive box.
I would pay $300.
If it was actually like made of jello or something, that would be hilarious.
You'd have the scales, the golden scales emanating goo.
Yeah, what if it was scales and then there was like a lemon flavored jelly that it secreted and you could eat it? Have you seen these Last of the Jedi covers by the Japanese author too? These are really nice
good.
too.
Ferris Oling looks weird in some of them, though, I won't lie.
Yeah,
or as Star Wars Stereo would say, Jason Solo.
Yeah, he looks a bit like Jason Solo.
When you said The Last of the Jedi for a second, I was like, wait a minute, but The Last Jedi is also up there too.
Yeah, well, actually, it's funny because The Last Jedi is a name that's included in Star Wars very frequently, because if you think about it, you have The Last Jedi was the name of a Marvel comic issue from the 70s.
Yes.
Then you have The Last of the Jedi book series, which lasted 10 books. Then you have the
Jax Pavin book.
Yeah, the Jax Pavin The Last Jedi novel from 2013.
Oh, Pavin, sorry about that.
No. Yeah, I think pronunciation's up to interpretation. Like Matt Wilkins.
No, it is not.
To a degree, it's not up to interpretation.
I think it is Jax Pavin though.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
Well,
Proceed.
so the Last Jedi movie comes out. That's already been used in Star Wars like 3 times. So the sequels are bad enough until you find out that lots of it is copied anyways. At least the title there. It's really crazy.
Yeah. You know what the craziest thing though is Kybo Ren.
No,
yeah.
that's the king.
And
That's
the
a Giga
Droids
Chad.
cartoon.
Yeah.
The Droids cartoon Kybo Ren is a Chad. Yeah.
But yeah, Brendan, sorry about making fun of the
Sorry.
pronunciation thing. I think it's like an ongoing inside joke with us that
Yeah. Marcel's the pronunciation police. Don't cross him.
He's the grammatical Nazi.
hey. I jumped onto Brendan's stream once for 30 seconds just to correct a pronunciation.
I know, it was hilarious. He was
But the
literally-
reason why I did that was because I generated more confusion in the comments and I wanted
Marcel,
to set the
So it's Revanchist, right?
It's Revanchist, yeah.
Revanchist.
It's Ravoon, isn't it?
It's Revanchist, but
It's Ravoon, Marcel.
according
It's
to
Ravoon.
John Jackson Miller. But I just what everybody says Revanchist, and that's totally fine.
The
Marcel,
Revanchist
Ravoon.
leader.
It's Ravoon is how it's pronounced. Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
My
glad
dad
he's
calls
on.
him Revan.
And I have the QL here because if you've read Lightsider or Dark Empire 2, you know Cedrus QL is his last name, so it's an homage to that.
Nice, I like it. I like it a lot.
I was just thinking about this. I think one of the biggest things that Disney probably ripped off from the EU is the fact that they brought Emperor Palpatine back, except they made it so bad because they didn't give any explanation as to why.
Explain it at all, yeah.
They had to put their exposition in Fortnite.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Put a new battle royale. Find out.
Oscar Isaac needs an Oscar for that performance right there, ladies and gentlemen.
He's really good in Moon Knight, Oscar Isaac. Like that was a solid.
Yes.
Right. I can't tell what's on. Can you still hear me? My screen's glitched.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can still hear you loud and clear.
Just follow my voice. Yeah, Revan Christ. Yeah, imagine that. I think Matt Wilkins when one time I was talking to him and he called me like Raven Christ or something. He did intentionally, but it was really funny.
He's also the guy who called Naga Sadow Nagger Shadow.
Yeah, well, that's a
wokenism.
The dark side is a pathway to many abilities some would consider to be unnatural.
Who remembers Ninja Holocron?
Only good games. Do you want to throw that comment up there about Lord Hethrer? We can address it.
Let me see.
That's the second last one.
Hethrer from Crystal Star, right?
Yeah. I think Lord Hethrer is a great character. I think
he wasn't human. It began with a B or
Ferrero.
Oh, Ferrero, right? Yeah.
Ferrero Rocher. He was a near human. He was made the procurator of justice of the Empire by Emperor.
The species were near human, and their only differential from humans was two-toned hair, if I recall.
Yeah. As far as we know, that was the only differentiating feature. Yeah.
Made them different than baseline humans. Yeah. Sorry, proceed.
But the interesting thing about Lord Hethrer, I think this is an Abel Pena retcon, was that he was actually in charge of Dasan, who is the Dark Jedi that Kyle Katarn was, Jedi Outcast. So Hethrer creates his Empire Reborn. Maybe in charge is not the right word, but they were working together, and so it kind of explains how Dasan, who was
the Dino dude from
is it Chistori or Kistori?
I thought it was Chistari.
Yeah, Chistari, Dark Jedi. He was one of Luke's apprentices.
He's basically a purple dinosaur.
He's a purple dinosaur. He leaves the Praxium, and suddenly, like less than a year later, has all these stormtroopers and ships at his disposal.
Kueller? Are you talking about Kueller here?
No, I was talking about Dasan.
No, I mean this comment that popped up.
I can't. Oh, right. The masked figure was one of Luke's ex-students who was like a fake Vader and teamed up with. He didn't team up with Gantoris. He teamed up with Brachus, is what you're thinking of.
So wait, what was the character?
I think it was Kueller or
Yeah.
Queller.
Okay.
Queller.
Right. Perfect. All right. Glad when I remember stuff. Sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, did I remember that right?
But anyways, just to cap off the Hepbur's talk, I thought it was really cool how they linked him to Desan.
Whoa, the man himself.
Yep.
The man, the myth, the legend, Matt Wilkins.
Matt Wilkins.
Hey,
Hello.
Hey, Matt.
welcome in, Matt.
Dark greetings.
It's always just quite an honor.
It would
When I
be
see a
an
Matt
honor
Wilkins
if
comment
you
there.
joined us.
Indeed, it would.
Yeah.
The links at the top of the comments.
He had a question for you. If you scroll up, Matt Wilkins says, "What was the name of the other book you printed? Not Skywalker's, the other one."
Okay, so I printed out Skywalker's and I printed out. Should I turn on my camera and just show it? There's nothing stopping me, I suppose. Just a second, let me grab it.
Also, Matt Wilkins, I wanted to email you about something. In regards to the comics, the comics necessarily don't work on Lulu. So, do you know any workaround to that? And if you don't know, that's fine too. But for some reason, evasive action, it works. But the TCW UK comics and Valsidian Operation and Act on Instinct, they don't work.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, you're muted.
Yeah, my bad. Rookie mistake. So I printed out Skywalker's EU novel that was only a novella online, and it looks fantastic. It's about
wow.
the fifth size, and it's made to look like a Del Rey. Pages are great. Look at that. It's perfect. It even has a timeline in the front. It looks awesome. It has a timeline.
It's
in the
all
front,
right, Matt.
uploaded to have everything.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it looks great. Skywalker's.
Nice
And
one.
I printed out this because if I'm paying for shipping, I might as well get something else. So this is the Star Wars Galaxy short story collection. These were short stories that were published online by Wizards of the Coast in promotion for the Galaxy's card game that they had, which was I think there was a online card game and a physical card game that you could get, but I think this was with an online card game that linked this. These are 4 short stories in here. I made this cover myself, so it doesn't look the best. Made a write-up. It's 8 pages, the inside. Color pages with the pictures that came with it. It's only a couple paragraphs, but there's one about the Wookiees. There's one about... there's actually an interesting connection, because there's one about the Singing Mountain tribe, who are actually a fairly prominent tribe of Dathomirian Night Sisters in the EU. They connect to Fate of the Jedi, and they connect to the last of the Last Jedi, Jack's Path.
Yeah, the Singing Mountain clan shows up in Backlash, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's a short story about them in here, and there's a Booster Tarek story in here. One about Wookiees, and there's one about a Hutt hunter who's hunting down a beast in a forest. And that hunter is actually referred to again in several RPG stuff by Fantasy Flight Games. It's sort of interesting. Yeah, this was on the file. It was under... it was on the file. It's near the bottom of the file. With... I probably shouldn't be talking about this on a stream, but it's near the bottom of the file. It didn't have a cover for with it, so I just made a custom cover. But the inside was already pre-formatted, and I'm happy to have it. It's kind of cool to have. It's really unsubstantial. I mean, was it worth it to print out this 8-page flimsy little pamphlet? Probably not, but I mean, I'm kind of glad I did. It's kind
Hey,
of cool.
Brennan, how hard was it to make a custom cover?
A second.
What's up, Alex?
Hey, Alex. Yeah, it's awesome, right? Um,
Hola, Alex.
so custom cover. I used the quick template, so that didn't take a lot of time.
Okay, cool.
But what I did was I edited this image outside of there. I used Capling, which is for memes, typically, and I made this with just these images were in the novel, so I removed the background, or those images were in the short stories. So I removed the backgrounds and put them together with a background, and then I took that image and put it on the template creator, and added all the words and stuff and added the summary. Clearly, I didn't do a good job because there's a black line running the length of the bottom, so I didn't stretch it out enough.
I think that black line gives it character.
Yeah. I don't think it removes anything from it.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Not
I
gonna lie,
like it.
I probably like it too.
I honestly thought it was a deliberate stylistic choice.
Well, what can I say? I'm a genius. But yeah, so that's what those were. Are those new EU stories that you didn't know you'd read, Matt? Also, Marcel, will you be reading these out for reading with the Revanchists?
Oh God, who knows when I'll actually get to the Galaxies era? Because doesn't that take place like
Well,
a year after the Battle of Yavin?
it's quite ambiguous, actually. I'd say the Singing Mountain Tribe ones take place pre-episode 1, just because
Okay.
it feels older than the Night Sisters we see in TCW. Then with the Booster Tarek one, it seems a little older. I would put it post Return of the Jedi.
By the time I get even just to the SWOTOR stuff, it's going to be like well into next year.
Yeah, there's a lot of SWTOR stuff to cover. Then there's one with the Hutt Hunter, and since Hutts aren't really hunters in the era of the movies, I would put it maybe back a couple thousand years. And then there's the other story is about Wookiees, and that's Imperial era, because I believe there's Imperial oppression for those Wookiees.
Although if it's all 8 pages, I might just do them all in one fell swoop, like the Galaxies collection or something like that. So
Yeah, not a lot of physical story to it, but it was cool to print out. I've got a SWTOR short story collection on the way. I've got Boba Fett, A Practical Man, individual print on the way, and I've got the Dark Forces trilogy. I want to get the Dark Forces graphic novellas hardcovers all eventually, but it's really cool because it's all compressed together to look like a Bantam era novel.
yeah, I've been eyeing those Jedi Apprentice omnibuses because I own the first 10 novels, and the third and fourth omnibus collect 11 to 18 plus the special editions.
Well, glad to see you, Alex. I was helping Slav with that earlier, actually, because Slav was getting part of the Jedi hardcover with the linen wrap, right?
Right.
And I was able to give him a discount code as well, so he got an extra $4 off.
Maybe he can pass it forward and help me.
Yeah, well, I can get it to you as well. It doesn't seem like there's a limit on it because I've used it twice. But
I don't care about the discount so much as I maybe need help. Actually, I could probably figure it out myself.
Oh, I can help you out. I was showing Tidus and Slav. Slav and I put it together in 30 minutes.
That's great.
Well, you're welcome to come on, Alex, unless you turn into a robot. You'd still be welcome.
Alex, the link is in Lance's Discord server. It's in the Jedi Knight channel.
Let me put this back here. I think I started it, but I'll put it there. Is that a functional link? I don't know. Hopefully. But Yeah, it's fairly easy to do, and since it's pre-formatted, it's pretty simple. Um, the only one that wasn't on there was SWOTOR short story collection with all the SWOTOR stories in order. So I put that together as a PDF, and it worked out really well. I was able to format it actually, to my surprise, to fit. It took longer, so it would have been nice if they just had a file that I could upload. But it worked out okay. And then I designed some custom NJO ebook covers, and designed them after NJO. Let me. And for those of you, for Liam probably wondering how I printed out these stuff, I can tell
Yeah,
you a bit about
I
that
was
later.
wondering about that because I heard you guys talking about files. I was like, what files? But I didn't want to interrupt because it seemed really interesting.
Yeah, well, I can tell you about that later on. I can't share my desktop currently because I have some personal files on it that would identify me. So I will show those custom covers I made later. But um, yeah, it's really cool. I was glad that I did it, and I definitely want to do it again with like Evasive Action and some of the other comics and play around to see if I can format it. If I do figure out how, I will let you know, Tidus. But there's a lot of online stuff that like I want to print copy of, print it out. So it just takes time because it costs quite a bit of money. But Slav is actually going to get a second copy. It and it was $25 for a hardcover linen wrapped copy of Heart of the Jedi. Um, but he was very pleased with it, and he was going to get an additional copy for his friend for Christmas, and just like hand him a copy of Heart of the Jedi, and his friend would just be like, "How did you get this?" He thinks it's going to be really funny. I asked him if he'd record it, so maybe he'll record his friend's reaction. I think that could be funny. But Liam, you still with me?
Yeah.
I think I've put Tidus and Marcel back to sleep.
No, I'm still around. I'm good.
I'm still here. I was just interested on what you were saying, so I was just keeping quiet.
Yeah, me too.
Well, hopefully I was interesting enough. Hold some interest there. I can drone on and on. I'm a talker. So interrupt me if you feel the need, because I will do the same to you even when trying not to.
I got a topic we can talk about. What black, like we jokingly said Waru is a Black Series figure, but I would love to see that. But what Black Series figures would you want to see of EU characters?
Does it make me a bad person to say Darth Talon?
No, why would that make you a bad person?
I don't know. Because the Darth Talon Black Series would be great, but also Crate and Nil would be better. Because I always like the design of Darth Nil. We already got some SWOTOR stuff, and we're still getting some SWOTOR stuff, so I'd be looking at comics. Like maybe Jarail, Zane, Carrick, Cade Skywalker.
What about
Crate, Nil?
Jarek?
Jarek, that would be so awesome. Do you know how fast Iron Inquisitor would have that?
Yeah.
Purchase? He'd buy like 5 or 6. How did he make that Funko Pop Jarek that's his current profile picture?
I don't know. I feel like he made it online or something. I don't think it's an actual Funko Pop.
My heart skipped a beat when I saw it. I was like, where can I get this?
I personally think Funko Pops are. I would never buy one.
Yeah.
But they have them on literally everything. So I also did a double take and thought maybe there was a new Funko Pop that I wasn't aware of.
With EU Funko Pops, I would consider it. Like there's a Bastila and a Revan one out there, and a Malik. I'd consider getting those.
The Bastila, Revan, and Malik stuff is so ubiquitous. It's everywhere, right? So I want to see some of the more well-known but less represented EU characters get their own figures.
What about Bane? Darth Bane?
Yeah, with his Von Dune crab armor.
That could be cool.
He's gonna have his TCW design. I'm telling you.
No, thank you.
Dude, I mean, think about it though. Darth Bane, like, let's be real. Like, if they're gonna do a Darth Bane Funko Pop, they're gonna go with the TCW design. Like, what's the chances of having an Orbalisk armor Bane?
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Darth
Oh,
Tidus,
absolutely. And
Ben
you could also
Skywalker.
you could also make the Darth Tidus one like a Jason one as well. 2 different heads, removable heads. So one with Sith eyes, and the evil parted haircut, and then one with a more lighthearted looking Jason. You could probably make it both, right? You can make that work.
I would like to see a Nagasato Black Series figure.
Yeah.
With the cool Egyptian armor and the giant eye crest in the middle of his armor.
That would be awesome. What about Tulok Horde?
Yeah, there's a lot of potential. Tulok Horde, Darth Endedu, the guy who has like the Egyptian pharaoh hat.
What about this one's a bit far out there, but I always loved the design of Zesh from Dawn of the Jedi with his, bulbous looking orb shaped head mask, and then have that removable. Yeah, the Force Hound with the Zesh logo on his forehead. Though Callum Johns always complains because it looks a bit more like one of the other Arabesh symbols.
Alex trying to get internet working from the mountain that he lives on.
Yeah, robot Alex incoming from the jungles of Ethiopia.
So only good games. I found out today that there is an Exarchun action figure out there. It comes in a double pack with an Ula Keldroma action figure. They're not Black Series though. 3.75 inch, I think.
From the comic packs.
Yeah.
The comic packs made a lot of them. There's a Cade, a Talon, a Nil.
Yeah, they did a bunch of legacy characters.
There's even Trasa and Thulm from the Republic comics.
Really? Who Trasa and Thulm?
That one's like $300. At one point, it was the most expensive EU figures I saw in the market.
Oh, wait. Stop the presses. Black Series, K-Crook.
Oh, that would be awesome.
No other figure needs to be made.
K-Crook. K-Crook is awesome. He's a giant whipped, so tusks, long hair. Dino Jedi.
Dino Jedi could refer to Dasan.
Yeah, he's a dark Jedi, kind of. Is there a Cyruk Jedi? Because a Cyruk, or Cyruk, or however it's pronounced, a Cyruk Jedi would have been pretty cool. I would have loved to see Yuzon Vong Jedi eventually. That could have been cool. There
was a Yuzon Vong Sith.
Was there? Where?
Yeah. Darth Vua. Wikipedia that. It was part of Darth Krayt's One Sith Order.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Darth Vua was a Yuzon Vong slayer who fought during the Yuzon Vong War and was later recruited by the One Sith as a Sith apprentice.
How's that spelled?
Vua. Oh, Dino Jedi from Tales of the Jedi. Master Thawne, he means.
Or does he mean Odin
Yeah, Odin is kind of
Dino-y.
Dino-y. Are you looking up the Darth Vua article right now? Did I blow your mind?
Indeed, I am. I'm trying to share the screen. Let's see. Liam, what EU Black Series figures would you want to see?
English, please. I'm not sure what that is, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no. Black Series are just like they're 6-inch action figures. They're of a certain series that Star Wars puts out. Like you can find them at like Walmart.
They're very detailed and articulate. So they'll cost
okay.
about $25 each. They're like really good quality. I have two. I could show them in a minute if you want.
Okay.
I have 3 of them, but I'm ashamed to say who one of them is, so I'm not going to.
Ew.
I don't really know a lot of Star Wars characters, so I'm not exactly sure. I guess
know
Bane,
who you
because that's what
have.
I'm reading about right now.
Yeah, Bane's a good choice.
You have a Rey Skywalker Black Series.
No, but you're not far off.
Oh, Rose Tico.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I spotted you. I fucking spotted you. Yeah.
I'm a fraud. Fake fan.
Fake fan! Fake fan!
You do not have a Rose Tycho.
Oh, I do not have a Rose Tycho actually.
Yeah, Rose Tycho.
Character.
Darth Vua. Darth Vua was a Yuzon Vong Slayer who fought during the Yuzon Vong War and was later recruited to the One Sith as a Sith apprentice. How is this the coolest thing I've ever seen? What was this mentioned in?
The bro got no picture.
Quick, deploy the fan art.
Deploy the fan art.
Yeah, there's always a lot of cool characters that just don't have pictures.
Yeah, I was thinking this a couple yesterday because I'm working on a video of every sentient species in Legends. I'm like a list style video because I thought that would be interesting.
That video would be too long, bro.
Well, I'm already on. I have 250 so far, and I'm on.
Is this in alphabetical order?
Yeah, in alphabetical order.
Oh, wow.
Darth Vua was created by Jason Fry.
That is going to be long.
Who
Essential Guide to Warfare, Part 12, Tales of the New Republic. That is one of the coolest things I've ever read. The events of the novel, which depicts by a Slayer ship to poison Xenoma's caught with Alpha Red, right? Establishing Vua as the vessel's pilot. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool to put that in as explain that was a character who was there all along, flying the ship. That's awesome.
Oh, so Vua was the one that was flying away with the Alpha Red, and they thought, okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, super cool. I'm gonna finish editing that video that I mentioned about a new canon item becoming canonized to the EU timeline because it's quite interesting. So I'll put that out tonight. But I'm working on the species videos as well. I have too many projects going
on. Alex just said, yeah, the issue with Hanethron 45's fanfics, at least his sort of Jedi fan fictions are very long, as I understand it.
Isn't there a contradiction? I heard Greyholm told me there's contradictions in the first book.
Yeah, there are, but I'm trying to do. I don't mind doing a long project at all, but those seem very ambitious.
If you did a long project, maybe novellas first, like Lost Tribe of the Sith and stuff, right? Because that's going to be shorter than Sword of the Jedi by quite a bit.
Yeah, it's just Lost Tribe of the Sith. I don't hate those stories. I actually liked a few of them. It just doesn't inspire me, and one of them's over 100 pages.
Yeah, I like is that Purgatory? Purgatory's over 100 pages, right? Or
Maybe
is that Pandemonium?
The last one, Pandemonium, I think, is the one.
Yeah. See, the first ones were really good. I liked Yaru Corson, and I liked learning about those characters. But then, it just as it went on, I didn't like it as much.
I would have really liked it if the Sith race didn't get exterminated.
Yeah, that was such a missed opportunity because then you could have had Luke Skywalker facing red-skinned Massassi warriors. Massassi are the Sith. Because Sith were, before they were an order, they were a species, a red-skinned species, also called the Massassi, right? Massassi, yeah. Is that pronunciation right?
Yeah.
I keep
Jedi
Prince by Noah. I've actually been hearing some negative. I've been hearing some negative things about it. from some people. I won't say who because I don't want to create some enemies.
I quite enjoyed those Jedi Prince fan fictions, I will say.
Cool, cool. Well, I'm glad people are enjoying them for sure. I found out that I'd lost my copy of the English version of the first Han Solo Hungarian translated book. Because I was looking for it today, and I found that the Google Drive I had, someone removed the Google Drive translation. So I was wondering if, like, I don't know what happened.
I might be able to get you another copy because I'm in contact with the guy who's doing translations. He's on Bruno's server.
Okay, awesome. That would be great because I read the first one, and I had the translation, and then I was looking for it because I was looking to see if I could like print it out because I saw Noah printed it out, and it looked fantastic. He printed it out to look like those original Brian Daly, like sized it in colors and everything, and he even created this awesome cover where it was translated to English from the Hungarian words for the title there. So it looked really awesome, and I was like, I want to, print this out, but I lost the file somehow. I don't know why. I was wondering if Giovanni pulled it because he wants to release all 4 together next year.
Yeah, I think that's probably the next thing that he's going to turn his mind to.
I hope he gives us those German Ewoks comics first. Maybe he'll give us those for like Valentine's Day or something early next spring, Easter.
Only Good Games. I will look you up on YouTube and I will follow you right now. Or sub, or whatever the terminology is.
So
there was a. Sorry, go ahead.
No one was talking.
yeah, I was confused.
Oh, I thought Liam was talking.
Oh no, I was just Marcel was like, whatever the terminology is. I was like, it's just sub.
Right.
You YouTubes.
So, Only Good Games. There was a channel called Full Frontal Fiction, and they reviewed the EU. And they even made timeline videos breaking down the timeline of events. They went inactive like 3 years ago. Let me see if I can find the link and I'll put it in the description. Wait, it removes links from the comment section, doesn't it, on YouTube? If you like link stuff, doesn't it?
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay. Well, look them up. Full Frontal Fiction, Dawn of the Jedi. They were really nice. I communicated with them, but they completely stopped making content like 3 years ago, I think. So like from 5 years ago to 3 years ago, they were making videos. They were quite good.
Only Good Games. I can't find your channel. If you can link it, or you can. I think you have me on Twitter, so you can just direct message your channel link to me, and I can.
Marcel, send me that channel link because he meant Only Good Games mentioned that he had a channel and a Matt Wilkins stream, and I was asking for it, but I never got it.
Yeah, if you send me on Twitter, then
I'd be surprised if the link worked on YouTube. It doesn't do that for Twitch either. I'm not sure why, but on streaming services, it just won't let you send links, which is really weird.
Is it like a self-promotion rule that it doesn't want like self-promotion?
I'm not sure. Maybe I could look into that actually because that's something I've been wondering. It mainly just does it on streaming services because you can send links and YouTube comments on videos and stuff.
Alex, can you send that to me? Alex has it. Maybe he can send it on Discord to everyone. Love the EU channels growing. Like for example, Liam is gonna start doing some book reviews for EU stuff, right?
Oh yeah, I'm super excited. I just got to I gotta read the main trilogy first. I think I'm gonna do like a few separate videos at first, of just reviewing each one individually, and then I'll probably do a 4th video of the series overall. I think.
Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. Evaluate them as a whole, but also individually. That makes sense. Yeah, Alex's videos are awesome. I really like them. They're really great. My favorite one has got to be throwing a book against the wall, or the utter disdain. If you watch his Clone Wars Gambit reviews, it looks like someone is like pointing a gun at him, forcing
Oh
him.
boy.
You really
I really liked
feel the pain.
I really liked his Heart of the Jedi review that he did. I think it was a couple weeks back.
Only Good Games. I know that was directed
Is
at
Heart of the
Alex.
Jedi genuinely a good book? I'm asking just because I know it's like
So
one of those novels you can't really get.
I would say it's a mid novel. So it was an unpublished 1980s Bantam Star Wars novel. It went unreleased until 2013, 2014 when it was released online. And there's some print copies that you can get. Like I have a print copy on my shelves from Amazon. There was a bootleg that was released. But yeah, it's out there, but it's very mid the story. However, the coolness of reading a never before, published novel, like a holy grail, something you'd never thought you'd reading, that elevates it to at least being entertaining and interesting enough to where you'll be entertained while reading it. What would you say, Marcel?
Heart of the Jedi, I liked it. I think it's not like my favorite Bantam era novel, but I liked it a lot. So,
Marcel, you have a fan here.
Thank you. That's really nice of you to say. Can we go back to Only Good Games' previous comment because I wanted to address it.
I wanted to address this one too.
Not that I have any wisdom to peddle, but I am 35, and I still question all the time whether or not I'm good enough to do anything, and I'm very self-conscious as well. So for me, it hasn't gone away. But what I would say is because it hasn't gone away, I just decided to go ahead and put myself out there anyways because I could sit there worrying about it all my life, and then my life will be done. So you might as well just get on with the business of living, because if it's not going to go away, you might as well just keep going. I don't know that I came out as eloquently as I wanted to, but my point is that that doubt is always going to be there. So it shouldn't stop you.
So I wanted to talk about this as well. Is my audio still coming through? Okay.
Yeah.
So I started my YouTube channel it's been 2 years, so 2020, I believe. It may have been 2019, but I actually don't know. I think it was 2020. And if you go back and watch my first video, my voice is so high. It is very painful. Not that my voice is any better now, but looking back at it, I sounded very nervous when I was talking, very unconfident. Those first videos were completely unscripted one takes that were slapped together in 3 minutes. There was one day that I released 8 videos in a day. So, it was a very early YouTube channel, 2.5, 3 years ago. Entertaining by no means was it entertaining. No stretch of the imagination was any of it entertaining. It was painful. It was so painful. But that being said, I'm glad that I was doing it then, because now where I'm at, I feel like my video production has gotten a little bit better at least, and I'm putting effort in. And since I tried it back when I wasn't confident, I feel more confident now. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like the worst stuff that I could have put out is behind me, so it can only get better.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that makes total sense. Yeah.
Everybody starts somewhere. I feel like the hardest part is just doing it. And that's why you just got to just put yourself out there.
Yeah, Yeah, and there's definitely a ceiling for EU channels. I wish they could get bigger, but Matt Wilkins, 7,000 subscribers. No, is it 12,000 now? I don't remember.
I think it's just 7,000.
With
7,000.
200,000 more on 200,000 with 1,000,000 more on the way.
that would be great. He's got a couple thousand. OG Star Wars has a couple thousand. Chris Nelson and Spencer Star Wars Library have a couple hundred. I have 203, I think, currently, which I'm very proud of. That's amazing. Marcel's catching me up though. He's gotten to like 72 in like a couple months. Alex has gotten to 300. Iron Inquisitor's at 1,000 now. So's Quality Autism.
Spread the good word.
So we're growing. These channels are growing steadily. And we're helping each other, right? Because all EU channels pretty much promote each other, right? We're all on the same kind of streams together. We're all saying good things about each other. For the most part, I would say. So I think we'll grow together. For every like 1,000 that Matt Wilkins gains, some of us smaller channels will gain a couple dozen, right? There's only really one way to go, right? You're going to grow a little bit. I think there is a ceiling for EU only channels because it's a niche community, right? But as Matt Wilkins grows, there's a good chance all of the smaller ones will grow too, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's great that like you said, we're all in this little community together. We're all kind of on like the same streams and everything. I think that's great.
For sure, and you feel like like a family, a community that's like a family on the internet.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Bound together to combat the oppression of Disney. I appreciate that. That's a nice thing to say. Yes, Alex is awesome.
Yes,
hairy
Alex's
legs.
hairy legs are awesome. Is that what you were about to say?
Yeah, Alex needs to shave them. For
Oh
Matt
boy.
Wilkins' plan. Matt Wilkins has a plan where Alex will shave his legs and get Leland Chi to Leland Chi was the keeper of the Star Wars holocron for the EU, and he kept all the continuity. But now he's been very quiet after Disney took over, so he's probably captured and tied up in Mickey Mouse's basement. So Alex is gonna have to charm his way in there and get him out. Speak of the devil, or that's a terrible way to start this. Here's Alex.
I totally agree with you. Only good games.
Uh-oh.
Dark greetings, Alex.
Dark greetings.
Alex, wait, you hit 300, right? I thought you did.
No, last time I checked, I was 295.
Oh, crap!
I said
my
I was
bad.
almost at 300.
Fake
You
news.
got me excited for a second.
I'm spreading falsehoods.
Uh-oh.
Okay, look, all of us, there's 4 of us here. We got to create alt accounts and get them up to 299.
I already have an alt account if you want.
No, I
can go
need
do that right now.
genuine.
Now,
Can't
guys,
just have copies.
Alex, I've subscribed to you on my brother's account. That's as far as I'm willing to go. Oh, sorry.
Wow.
No alts.
It's okay. Your integrity remains true.
Yeah, my integrity is. Yeah, Matt has done so much for the community. He's the president of the EU. Chris Nelson's the vice
He's the
president.
father. Of
Yeah,
the
he's the
entire
father of the
Cspyderverse.
movement.
I
Chris
see Matt and Chris as the 2 consuls of Rome.
But then what about Brian
Well, of
Borg
course.
and Dylan? They're under
That
there
Catholic
too, right?
background.
Brian
Right
Borg
on.
and Dylan are praetors.
No,
then
they're
what
gestures.
What about Spencer? Spencer and some of those other guys. OG.
Quaster.
Scoundrels Cantina's pretty big, and they had Matt on there, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
You know the reason why Matt will never get too big and why we will never get too big?
Because we're too
One-
positive.
Well, I was gonna say we don't bash the new canon.
Yeah.
We just talk
Mhm.
about. I mean, we might say stuff here and there.
I
but
bash
Right,
out.
we're not
a big
we're
part of
not
our
yelling
channel.
all the we're not yelling all the time like Ryan, right? Ryan Kinnell.
Yeah, it's usually like on live streams, if anything. But we're talking. We're not like angry. We're just talking about
Yeah.
like Revan, like Marcel's talked about like that recent book with Han and Leia, and he's like, yeah, I don't like it for this and this reason, but he doesn't like.
Princess and
Exactly.
Scoundrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt is the Andy Griffith of the EU. I have not watched Andy Griffith's show in so long, but I love Andy Griffith. That's my childhood right there. I'd watch reruns of that with my grandmother for hours. That good times. I can totally see Matt as like the upbeat Andy Griffith sort of guy.
Meanwhile, in Germany, yeah, that's a fair
Yeah.
comment.
Meanwhile, Noah's
Oh yeah.
riling everyone.
Yeah. Then
up.
we go over to Quality Autism. He's like, rah, 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 burn all the books. Rah, rah. Deading sucks. Bug sex.
You know what?
and-
Noah's server is where I get out all my rage so that I can be positive and on the rest of my platforms.
Tidus,
Yeah.
you still with
Noah
us?
brings out the worst in everyone.
I've been here this entire time.
Yeah, you just been quiet, Tidus.
I have no conversational inputs.
You've always got your mic on mute, and I'm always like, is he asleep?
No,
Like, there's no way of knowing.
I don't know what to input into the conversation.
Oh, well, you know what, Tidus? I really enjoyed some of your takes for Lightsaber. I really enjoyed some of them.
I had takes on Lightsaber. Oh, you're talking about the audition.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wasn't there to hear him. I'm sure he did great because he
did great.
Yeah, they were good.
Is in the death spot.
oh no.
Is in
And
the
none
death
of you
spot.
got to hear my cam, so
No, I
probably
heard
for
your
the
cam.
best.
You
I heard
described
your
it as like a more raspy version of your normal voice.
Give us your cam, Alex.
Oh yeah,
Huh?
you can do it right after the stream.
Sorry, everyone's cutting out for me.
Give us your cam impersonation, Alex.
I can't. Not without the script. I can't just like bring on. It's just a raspier me, but there was genuine trying to act in it. So, but
Nice. I
You'll-
played mine. I played mine pretty
Yeah.
safe because I didn't want to do too much.
no, yeah, like there. I'll say this: there was a scene where Cam sees a vision of his family, and so I tried my best to have emotion within that scene, but we'll see what happens with that.
I'm
But
pulling for you
if
for
any-
Cam. I really want you to be Cam, Alex.
We'll see. There was a lot of good talent on there, so
Yeah, none of us will get in except Marcel. It'll just be Marcel, and then all the other roles will be Ken Palpatine and John Otto.
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought
Probably.
the Darth Vader one was a really good one. Was it I think it was Genonymous who did that, right?
Yes, he did it. He
The
really
Darth Vader was really. I was super impressed by that. That blew
good.
my
He didn't even have
mind.
any audio like things changed to him.
Oh
either.
yeah,
Only
that's
good games. I think Lightsaber
I
is
can't even
coming out
do that.
summer of next year. Is the projected date, right, Tidus? Summer of next year for the Lightsaber audio drama.
Yeah, summer next year.
I had
That's what
no
I
idea what I was doing
thinks.
for Vilguire. I just kind of tried to do what I thought was raspy.
I thought your Vilguar was really good.
Oh,
I
thanks.
thought it sounded dark. Like the back and forth, I thought it was really solid.
I like that Marcel just did
The one takes were not good.
Marcel did what?
I wish I
a
did, Bill Gore.
He did a horrible American accent. He was trying to talk like he was Southern or something.
I love that approach on it though. It was
I
The
know,
really
military
funny.
hard ass.
It was so
Who
funny.
did the like Irish accent?
That was the most
Someone-
racist interpretation of an American I've ever seen.
You
It
can't
was
be
wonderful.
racist towards Americans.
Yeah, you're right.
You
Can't be racist under a
You
melting
can't be
pot.
racist in Star Wars, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
That was I don't know. I thought that because Mattu
No,
was
it
like
did
the
work.
military figure. So
No, yeah, I
Did-
no, I
did
just
like
appreciate the fact that you're like, I'll hold off until Alex and this other person does it. I'll see if they don't get what I'm going for. And then none of us even thought to do that. So you're like, perfect. I could just start talking all Southern. It's so funny.
I mean, I don't think it fits in the. I don't think it fits.
Doesn't fit
Star
the
Wars
tone.
universe. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I thought it was worth doing just for just for laughs.
I know,
Who-
I know,
who did-
and you succeeded. You were wonderful. It was
Who did an Irish accent? I heard someone do an Irish accent.
That was
I did
good.
hear
Whoever
that.
did that.
I was really good.
Is that Ken?
Good
Ken
work, Ken.
Palpatine did an Irish, right?
For which character though? Which character was it?
Wasn't it in the back and forth with you?
I can't remember, to be honest. I was just so focused on not messing up the voice for Vilguire, so I can't really remember.
For one of my voices, I was just like, I'll make it deeper and gravelly, and for the other voice, I was like, I'm gonna make my voice crack on purpose. So I'm not sure how that went, but
There was one
yeah.
that I think, what was it, Ken who did it, where he did this like joke, this
mad
Joker
scientist.
impression.
Yeah,
the
it's the mad
Scientist one
scientist
was
humor.
so good.
That was actually really, really good. I was super impressed by it. I was like,
I
we
thought-
got a Star Wars Joker.
I thought that character was.
Well, we've
Umok
always had a
Leth,
Star Wars
right?
Joker.
Umok Leth was the character who he was voicing, right? And so
Yes,
I
it
thought
fit
that-
perfectly.
I thought that Ken did better than John Onimus for Umar
I agree.
Leth and for
Yeah.
Tor
Yeah.
Darkheart. I thought he was better on both of those,
Same.
which is surprising because like I was like, well done, Ken. I was like, I wanted to applaud because I was like, you're just one of us, and you're like going toe to toe with a guy who's like trying to be
Voice
a voice
actor.
actor professionally. I was like, good on you. You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I'm not a
thought they
voice
both did
actor, which is why I
phenomenal.
got so nervous. Because like
Yeah, I was-
Jono, like is professional. Like he's actually like trying to get into that. And
Yeah,
you can
he's
tell.
really good. You can
He's
tell.
next
You can
level.
tell
I
he's leagues
was,
above.
oh man,
But
I was so
Matt,
nervous.
Matu will probably be Matu and Greyholm will probably be lenient enough that we at least get something, even if it's background characters.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
probably all get to do something.
Yeah. For sure.
I think tomorrow, because I was at school, I missed the extra characters. So I
Yeah.
think Matsu tomorrow is gonna let me do Dodana because I wanted to do Dodana.
I'm gonna read for
Admiral
Rannick
Akbar.
tomorrow.
It's a trap.
Rannick.
It's a trap.
Rannick Solusar.
Ranak Shalashar.
The whole time that everyone else was like doing their voices and the back and forth and stuff, I was just trying to keep my voice as deep as possible. I was just like humming a low song. I was like, just that's what I was doing the whole time while I was muted.
Yeah, when my
I wasn't gonna attempt Vader. I knew I couldn't do Vader. I can
when
do
my
the
mic was
accent, but it
muted-
doesn't-
when my mic was muted during the Vader stuff, I was like, great. I see that my character's next following Vader. I was like, I have to follow such an amazing Vader.
Oh,
right.
Just a lame Darksider. I was
Right.
like, oh, come on. It's going to sound so bad in comparison.
Yeah. No one else can do it the way that freaking Jono did it.
I
yeah.
know. Maybe if we buy some EU stuff and send it to Matu and Ken Palpatine, we'll bribe our way
You
into.
bribe him.
Yeah, I
That's a
don't
good
be
idea.
surprised.
Good
Don't be
work.
surprised when I get Vader, because I sent like a copy of Heart of the Jedi or something to them.
It would be an honor if you would join us. See, like I can't do it. Like that's as much as I can do.
Only
It
good
would be an
games.
honor if you would join us.
Oh wow, that was good.
Nah.
I
I
know
want
Only
those
Good Games said
plans.
he's the
I
best,
want him alive.
I know
Which
Only Good Games
sounded
said
the
he's
most
the.
unlike Vader in that first movie.
I know you said you're a bit self-conscious of your voice, Only Good Games, but we'd love you to come on and talk with us if you wanted.
Yeah, if you
the
want to.
option's always open.
Imagine a book being read by Admiral Akbar.
I would read that book. I would listen
I
to
would
that
love
audio
that.
book. I love Admiral Akbar. They're so fun.
He opens the book and it's a Disney canon novel.
It's a trap.
Oh no! Dude, I read
A
Aftermath. I wanted to
2mm
cry.
pot.
I read Aftermath with Noah one time, and I was doing the voice of Admiral Akbar, and I wanted to die. That book was.
I did indeed tweet about that. Sorry.
That was my theory, and I was so proud of this theory. And then everyone online was talking about it, and I was like, so I'm not the only one who saw it. I think the facial structure for the art looks similar too. I feel like
That
it
was indeed
intentional.
Quinlan Voss's theory. Noah told me it can't work, and then spouted something about Ken Palpatine's age. But if you go and you read my tweets, I explain the age thing, and I think it does work.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Noah's response was that it couldn't work because Kenneth Hamner died a terrible death, and I agreed with that.
Well, see, the thing is, Kent did die a terrible death, but listen. Who says that the birth records weren't fabricated for Ken Palpatine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been fabricated.
It would be a cool link.
With Imperials.
Sure.
It seems intentional. Why would they just introduce a random guy named Kenneth Hamner that literally sounds so similar to Ken, right? The first name. Why would they introduce this character that nobody knows about, that nobody's heard of, that's not a connection, and then say specifically that he's an old friend of Han, Luke, and Leia's?
Hey man, you're preaching to the choir here.
You know that.
Yeah.
Doc greetings.
Doc greetings.
Hello, Ethan.
Welcome in.
You know what? Also, I realized when I was going through my EU journey, I had read Shadows of Mindor, which is absolutely a better novel than Shatterpoint. But anyway, that's not my point here. There was Chronal, who's the villain of that book, was talking about how he was with the prophets of the dark side for a time from Jedi Prince. And he, who's of the dark, actually does receive accurate visions. So while he was helping the prophets of the dark side, they did prophesize like legit visions and stuff of the future because they had Chronal helping them. And then Chronal went to go do his own thing.
Right.
And as soon as that happened, that's when they just started making stuff up because people already believed them because they had proven to be trustworthy before.
So a bit of
that was like a nice kind of like fix.
Alex, I know you brought that up, but it doesn't add up because in the Book of the Sith, the prophets of the dark side are they're present in the Clone Wars, and they have, according to Ventress, accurate predictions, and that was prior to Chronal joining them, so that can't possibly be true. And Supreme Prophet Kadan, at least the real Kadan, he is an actual prophet. Like, he actually can predict. He's not a fake.
I haven't read those like the source book stuff for the like the Jedi Sith.
Right.
They're not that like the bounty hunter ones and all that. I haven't read those, so I didn't know that. I was just going off of the story novels, and that seemed to be the
Like
first
Jedi
time.
Prince.
Yeah, Jedi Prince, and then
Jedi Prince. That's a fake Kadan. Like I forget his actual name given to him by like lore articles, but that's a fake.
I love Shadows of Mindor.
Yeah,
it's hot.
Shadows of Mindor is good.
Sorry.
Shadows of Mindor is good. It's great how it references, the newspaper strip comics, Prophets of the Dark Side. There's lots of good stuff there. The story itself, I love the connections. The story itself is a little bit, I'm sorry to say, it's a little bit generic for me, but I'd still say it's a really solid story overall.
I found all the stuff with Chronal fascinating. Like his whole philosophy of the dark and how it's separate from the dark side. And I found the entire discussion he had with himself about how when Palpatine was trying to destroy everything, to destroy the current government, that everything seemed to go according to plan, everything fell into place. And the moment he started to lose was the moment he started actually building something. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And correct me if I'm wrong with the Prophets of the Dark Side. There was an original Prophets of the Dark Side. This was retconned with Abel G. Pena, because Abel G. Pena wrote some Star Wars articles, and he wrote that there was originally a Kaden, the leader, and then there was some other prophets, but then they were replaced, and the real prophets were like off doing their own thing when they were replaced by the diminutive Bimasari, who replaced them. and he had his own name, and then they were imposters taking the name
Yeah.
of the real
Yes.
prophet of the dark side during Jedi Prince. But then
Yes.
later afterwards, they were tracked down and assassinated by the real ones, right? Those ones
Yes.
died.
I had no idea. I apologize for my ignorance.
It comes all from the article and one of my favorites.
Uh,
Evil Never Dies. The
Yeah.
Sith Dynasties.
That's a great article. Supernatural
It
encounters.
also details
Details on
Lumaya killing Flint.
oh, really?
Yes, she
yes.
kills Flint, and it kind of hints like that Lumaya is gonna come back at the galaxy at large at the end of the article.
Wait. Flint
From
didn't.
the Marvel comics.
I thought he died when he went up against Luke.
Apparently not. It's weird.
Okay. Also, my favorite thing about that comic is that he is supposed to be a Dark Lord of the Sith. He was trained by Vader, and out of all the names he could choose, he calls himself Lord Flint, which I just thought was hilarious. Also, there's a comic panel. No lie, I'm not joking. I'm not making stuff up. There is a panel where they describe Barney, Flint's friend, as the brown guy and refer to Lando as the guy with the mustache. I just thought that was hilarious.
So there's some gems in those old Marvel comics. I need to reread them all. My
They're good.
favorite part is that there's so many good stories there, though. Even though some of
Yeah.
it's far out there, like Cody Sunchild. That stuff was super
I
interesting.
hated that.
Right.
Wait. Is that the thing where I might be
Fifth
thinking the wrong.
Dimension?
I'm thinking of when Lando goes through this other dimension with this
Yeah,
weird hippie
nope.
guy. I hated
Not
that.
Cody. Not
That's
him.
when I started. I hated that so much.
I'm sorry. Okay, I enjoyed it.
I'm glad you did. I felt like I was on drugs, man. That was so like I vibe with the whole like 70s like cheese. I vibed with it like when freaking what's his name? The what the fudge. When the blind guy freaking tag. The tag.
Yeah.
When Tag, I enjoyed all of that. I don't care that that he was like, oh, I'm gonna go up against Vader. Even though it was kind of stupid, I vibed with it. I was all for it. I was like, yeah, go
Yeah,
for it, man. You're gonna fail, but
Yeah.
go for it. But then we got to that issue, and I was like, I'm just not feeling this. I don't. This just feels like a weird acid trip.
I didn't like the art towards the end. Like from issue like 90 to 100, I didn't like the art style. It like modernized and it looked really like minimalized. I really like the zany art from the earlier issues.
Yeah.
But definitely
I like the Nagai a
recommend
lot.
everyone. I recommend the Nagai. Yeah, those are great. And it's
Nagai,
cool that
yeah.
Darth Nil from Legacy is one.
Yeah, that's a really cool little connection they made.
For sure. And something I wanted to point out was when Tidus mentioned the Star Wars online material with Abel G. Pena, the Sith Dynasties, Evil Never Dies. It's so interesting to me because those aren't short stories, those aren't guidebooks, but they're so essential to the EU. There's stuff there that like Alex, like not like downing Alex, but like it's there's so much important information in there that most people don't know about. Like it's crazy how important some of those Star Wars website articles are. I just find it really interesting because there's like important information there, but like barely anyone would know about it. And since it's all on backup links now, like it's really hard to find.
You gotta die for it. Like the first thing even done by Abel G. Pena, the Emperor's Pawns. I think I was talking about it on VC the other day, and that it literally details on how that Lumaya and Mara had a duel, and the end result of the duel was that Mara lost her magenta lightsaber from the confrontation.
Didn't that happen in Legacy of the Force?
That happened in what?
Well, I don't know if they fought another time, but I don't think it's really.
Well, according to
Wow.
Abel G. Pena, Yasani Izard had commissioned Lumaya to hunt out Mara because she was a rogue Imperial hand. And,
I don't know if that works because in the Thrawn trilogy, when Thrawn says that you weren't the only hand, that Mara seems genuinely upset about it, like she didn't know that. So I don't know if that works.
It's like a Winter Soldier not being the only Winter Soldier type thing, right?
Yeah, well,
With all
yeah,
them hands
because
out
she
there.
was always told that she was the hand. She was not supposed to know about any of the ones that were around. That was the whole idea.
well,
At
Alex,
least-
go on.
I'm just, at least by the context of what Zahn told us and what by Ron's responses being like, you thought you were the only one, you thought you're special to Palpatine, or wherever the fudge. I'm paraphrasing, but she seems genuinely upset when he says that. But if she already knew that, why would she care what he has to say? Be like, yeah, I already knew this, you stupid idiot.
I
In
personally
the confrontation, it's never revealed. Lumaya never reveals the fact that she, in a way, is a hand of Palpatine.
I mean, I guess. But she also doesn't seem to recognize Lumaya in Legacy of the Force. But
I feel like
That would just be like a contradiction with the article. Then
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like I don't know why, but I always got the sense that Emperor Palpatine wiped Mara's mind from time to time, like wiped events.
I mean, maybe we don't really. I mean, that's completely a viable option. It's not something that Palpatine wouldn't do. Completely in line with his character. We just don't have any confirmation that that's something he has done to her.
Like we don't know who Trioculus's mother was, right?
True.
That's something I've always thought of. What if it was Mara?
Slime more.
Slime more.
Slime more is a good option. Changing topics. How's the weather been for you guys? We have snow here.
Oh yeah, there's lots of snow. It's like super
rain
cold.
and wind.
That's better than
California.
That's better than where I am, Alex. We shovel the driveway like 30 times a year. We get like three feet last year. No, not 3 feet. Sorry, 2 feet. We got 2 feet of snow last year. 2 feet. Like that's take out a ruler and stack it on top of each other. Do you want to be shoveling that?
Yeah, at least God doesn't hate me completely. He did make me be born in January during the winter, which is the season I hate the most, which I guess is kind of some ironic joke, but it is what it is.
Same here. Where are you at, Granny Toes? We get lake effect snow.
Granny Toes is a great name, by the way. I love that.
Feels weird to say, but indeed. Didn't Leia defeat Skiller? Wasn't that book where Luke was critical? That was New Rebellion, right?
I think so. Also, earlier you said Good Games talked about what would we think if Brackus had found an actual reborn Palpatine and not a fake Palpatine on the Shadow Academy from Young Jedi Knights. I think that'd be pretty stupid because we would have already had Dark Empire and would have felt very, very redundant to do it a third time. So
speaking of that, something I wanted to point out is back in the day when I used to read EU hate articles about why it's a good thing it was discontinued, the two top reasons were always Jackson the Green Space Rabbit, and people would point at that and say that's stupid, good thing that's no longer canon. Then people would point at Emperor Palpatine's return and say, good thing that's no longer canon.
And now both have happened in canon.
Now both of them are canon, and now you don't see articles about that anymore. Like, they don't talk about that anymore,
In fact, Jackson's been used more in the Disney canon than he ever was in the original EU.
That's ironic.
That's a crime. I demand Timothy. I demand
ironic.
Punish Timothy Zahn for almost contradicting. Punish Timothy Zahn for
the Jedi.
Not from a Jedi.
You should take Timothy Zahn's stuff with how he almost spoilered stuff. He was getting arrogant with how he almost contradicted stuff. So make him write a Jackson trilogy just about Jackson on the rabbit's foot.
Liam, where are you at in your reading?
Guys,
I've read like 2 novels, and I just started the Bane trilogy.
What have you read?
I've read Dawn of the Jedi, and I've read most of Red Harvest.
I'm so sorry. Was Dawn of the Jedi the first thing you read?
Yeah.
It was
Oh
his
my
first.
God.
It was
I'm
his
so
first
sorry.
EU novel.
God bless your soul. I'm so sorry.
I was
For the
very
way-
upset. It took me. I didn't realize at the time that it was the worst EU novel to exist.
Oh, it's not the worst.
No, it
It's
is,
just one
Alex.
of
It
them.
is the worst.
No.
It's the worst.
Like
Siege
I,
and Gambit exists.
No, Alex, it's worse. You need to
The
read
Bounty
Dawn
Hunter
of-
Wars exists.
reread
took
Dawn of the
me-
Jedi Into the Void, Alex. You won't make it out alive.
Alex, it took me 4 months to read that book as my first EU novel. I hated it so much because it was so boring, and the way Tim
Yeah.
Levin writes books, his writing style is just awful. I hate it.
Yes, awful. But the good thing is that it's almost, besides a few things, pretty much up from here. So, I'd
Red
say
Harvest was pretty. I'd call it like
Yeah.
a mid book.
it is a mid book, but
like
it's not as bad as
Harvest.
Dawn of the Jedi. It's fine,
This was good. It was
but
good.
it's
It was
not
fun.
great. I don't know. I don't care about.
I kind of have the
Sid.
same.
I
I kind
love
of have the
Red
same
Harvest.
views that Matt Wilkins has on
Same.
Red Harvest.
Like I get it. They're teenagers, so you can't want teenagers to die, and I don't. But they also don't do anything with them to make me care about them. So it's
Yeah.
like any other horror movie where I'm just watching them die. And I'm like, okay.
I really
And-
just only feel bad for.
I mean, it was
Nectar.
kind of funny sometimes, though. I'll think the thing I liked the most in that book was there was a whippet who gave me like large predator vibes, where
Yeah.
he's like he's hunting his prey and all that. And I
Right.
thought that was
Colt-
cool.
Colt
I
was
feel
That
like
was like
there's
the only
just-
thing
let
I
me-
care about.
Let me tell you why Red
I
Harvest.
feel like
is good.
there's.
Hold on, Quinlan's gonna try to defend this book.
Alrighty.
It doesn't
I'm
need
just
to be
kidding.
defended. It's a
It's
good
not
book.
that bad of a book. I'm kidding. Relax.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Listen to this, okay? Listen. I read Dark
Whee!
Disciple because Quinlan Voss was on the cover. Dark Disciple was the best canon book that I read, and it was still worse than the worst EU novel I read, Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void. Now you could say that's favoritism for a timeline. I'll admit it, partially, but seriously, Dark Disciple is worse than Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void, my least favorite EU novel. Moving on to Red Harvest. Red Harvest is awesome, in my opinion. You've got a Sith Academy of people trying to kill each other, literally teenagers that just want to kill each other and take power, all while the zombie plague is going on. Sort of a spoiler, at the beginning there's 2 bounty hunters. One
I
of
mean,
the bounty hunters is
I've read most of the book, so it's not really
Okay.
a spoiler at this point.
Well, one of the bounty hunters is killed, and the Sith Lord forces the other bounty hunter to eat
Eat the head.
the head of his former partner.
That
was
was
just
that-
such a sick
that gave me
start.
chills.
It made the Sith seem so scary, right? It made him seem
Yeah.
so ominous. It made him seem like a
How do
threat.
you even pronounce his
I
name?
guess it didn't-
Marcel.
I read.
Is it like Scabrous? I think.
Darth
Yeah, Lord
Scabrous.
Scabrous. Yeah.
I read Dark Troop after, and that one just felt more effective to me than
Yeah, I feel
Red
like Death
Harvest
Troopers
did.
is probably going to be better just because
I-
it's the
it
era.
is in every way,
I
shape,
re-
and form better.
I read it Death Troopers, Red Harvest, Mall Lockdown. Mall Lockdown was the best, then Death Troopers, then Red Harvest. But I still
I
like
think-
Red
I know you
Harvest.
said I've heard you say that before. I don't know if
I think for me,
agree.
with like, I think the other thing for me with Red Harvest is the fact that there's just so much dead air. They bring up this other random character for no reason, just to kind of fill in the pages a bit. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
In Red Harvest,
Yeah, in Red
Some
Harvest.
Callista hate.
was that Hestezo's brother?
Yeah, the brother.
Yeah, that was a poor plot choice. But I did like that there was a Sith librarian who was Nettie, because Nettie are a plant-like species. We've seen 2 of them who were Jedi: Ood Banar from Tales of the Jedi and Trasa from Republic. So it was cool to see a Sith version of that, and her being a librarian. It was just really cool, in my opinion. Then there's a bit where a Sith decapitates one of the zombies, and the zombie picks up its own head and throws its head at the guy who decapitated it, and the zombie head latches onto the arm, bites, and infects. That's
Oh
just
yeah, that was crazy.
so crazy. and I love it. It's so far out there and weird, but I loved it. And then there's Zombie Tauntauns and Polk, the Whipped Bounty Hunter. There were so many good things in it. I really liked it.
Like I said,
I mean,
I'm not saying
fair
it's like
enough.
the worst book. I was just saying it was like mid for me. There were a few
I
things
agree.
that just kind of made it mid.
Yeah, it's definitely not one of my favorites. I barely remembered it. A couple novels after the fact, I'd already kind of forgotten everything. But that's because it wasn't that memorable to me. I mean,
Granny,
I remember the scene you're talking about with the zombie biting the zombie head biting down. I mean, I think that scene was intended to be funny, unless I just wasn't reading it right. It seemed funny, but which I mean, I enjoyed it, but it was little snippets of moments that were like, oh, it's fun. But overall, the story was forgettable.
I
I've
liked how
watched a lot of horror, so
I liked how the
nothing it did
strongest
was nothing I hadn't seen
I
done
liked how
elsewhere.
the strongest Sith in it decided to embrace the sickness rather than fight it because he saw it as power. That was an interesting character point. But
That
Yeah, I
was
feel like
interesting.
a lot
But
of characters
I
do
don't know.
that in movies I've seen. It kind of reminds me. There's something else it reminds me of. I'm just trying to think of the name of it. Where they just kind of embrace it. It kind of reminds me of Lock and Key. Have any of you guys seen that?
no.
No.
It's a TV show. This guy just kind of embraces the darkness. Yeah, that's kind of what it reminds me of.
That's an interesting plot.
Can I ask an unrelated question, but y'all can return to this?
What?
I said, can I ask an unrelated question, but
Shoot.
after y'all
Shoot,
answer,
go for
y'all can return to the Red Harvest
Go ahead.
discussion.
Okay,
I
what
was
is the
gonna
question?
ask, does it make would it make sense for me to once I finish Dark Empire to read Jedi Academy trilogy? Now I asked this because
I think
I
so, yeah.
literally have only read Heir to the Empire and like half of Dark Force Rising, but I find the Thrawn trilogy like terribly boring so far.
I don't agree with you.
Jedi Academy trilogy, you don't really need to know much about the Thrawn trilogy to read it and enjoy it.
All right, fair enough then.
Tidus, I would say, read Dark Empire, and then read Lightsider.
Read the
and then
comic.
Read Dark Empire 2.
Read the comic
but
instead, Titus.
Read Lightsider 2.
Read the comic of the
Yeah,
Thrawn
there's a comic.
trilogy.
Yeah,
Is it good?
It's
I
decent.
haven't
It's
read it
decent.
because I don't read comic versions of novels because I can just read the novel. But if the novel is giving you too much trouble and you're not enjoying it, then the comic adaptation is the shorter version of the story, so you can see the gist without needing to sit through what you consider to be boring.
Only
So that was
good
just my
thing-
suggestion to explain.
My options are either read the comic or buy the damn audiobooks, and I don't know.
Like the audiobook's really good by Mark Thompson.
Yes,
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I like his Thrawn voice. That's all I know about him.
It's much better than Rebel's Thrawn voice.
Right.
I
A
don't like
lot
the
of people
the-
told me to start with that trilogy. I still haven't actually read it yet, but I have the books for when I'm ready to read it.
If you're gonna read post Return of the Jedi, my advice is to follow what the timeline guide tells you to do. Start with Truce Bakora and just make your way through. I think that's the perfect way to go about going through the story after the movies.
Okay.
I think it's really simple that way. I mean, minus a few comics that you have to fit in between things. Other than that, there's no crazy timeline stuff where you're gonna be like, where am I placing anything? It's all very simple as to what comes next.
Now,
And I think it's pretty simple that way.
one of those comics is the Crimson Empire comics, which I just bought the Epic Collection of. It's coming on Monday.
Which is
and
one of the few things I haven't read post
just-
Return of the Jedi.
I just realized that I've only read the first comic series. I never read Crimson Empire 2 or 3.
Ooh, well, you have something new to enjoy then.
Well, I liked all three of them. Obviously, one's much stronger than 2 and 3, but I think 2 and 3 are good. My issue with that Epic Collection, I bought it, and it has everything in it that it should, except for the handbook. And I was just like face palming. I'm like, why wouldn't they reprint the Crimson Empire handbook? It's like 15 pages.
What's
So-
that?
Dark Horse used to put out these handbooks. There's like a Dark Empire one. There's a Crimson Empire one. I think there's even one for KOTOR comics, but they were basically like they would explain the world.
That's
It was like a bonus issue.
It's like the KOTOR handbook.
Right.
I know that
And then-
I had it.
Yeah,
Issue
and then
0.
I found out that they're reprinting the Crimson Empire handbook in another Epic collection.
Which epic collection is that?
I don't know. I guess they're reprinting a bunch of them in another Epic collection. And I just it seems to me it's like, if you want the full collection, pay for this and this and this. They broke it up deliberately, and I just don't like that.
Also, to good games, to the Vistera comic. If Vader can be forgiven, Vader can be forgiven.
I like to think Vistar and Ben end up together, but I don't know. I like to think that.
I mean,
Better
if
than
you got
Star
than
Kai is a
Jag.
mid character.
Jag
I-
Jaina, I hate Jag. So Vistara Ben is way better than Jag Jaina because
Vistar is the only interesting Lost Tribe member.
None
He's
of them
the
are.
only one. Vistar is the only one I give a crap about.
None of them
Out
are.
of that,
I loved how
Okay.
your voice reached just new levels of high in your shock, Alex.
yeah.
I have a
I
question.
love
Alex, I will grant you,
For
she
all
is
of
the
you
most
guys.
interesting character of a non-interesting group of characters.
You sounded so taken aback; it was hilarious.
Because Vistar is awesome. I don't know
Yeah.
what he's going on
I,
about.
I didn't like her the first read, but I really
I
liked
did
her
it-
the second read.
I didn't like her in the first couple books, but she grew on me. I was with Marcel for a little bit. I was like, I don't care about a single
But,
Lost Tribe
Alex-
member, and she snuck in my heart, and she stayed.
I've only read up to Backlash, so
Okay.
maybe my tune will change.
Backlash is terrible. It's one of
Yeah.
that's Alston's, right? That's one of Alston's worst.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Backlash where they go back to Dathomir.
Dathomir. Yeah.
Boring, absolute slog.
Thank you. Yeah, it was the worst. I
horrible book.
stopped reading Fate of the Jedi because I just couldn't get. Anyways,
The stuff
Liam,
with the
you
Caldor
said you had a
was
question.
So, do I absolutely need Shadowhunter if I'm going to build my way up to Darth Plagueis? Because I can't find Shadowhunter anywhere. It's gone.
It's on Kindle.
Is it free?
You
Because
can't- No,
darn. I don't have any
There were
money to put on my
places you could
Kindle
get it for
device.
there were places you could have gotten it for free, but they've since been taken down.
That sucks.
Yeah. Maybe ask for Christmas is coming up. You could ask for
Yeah,
Amazon.
that's probably
gift
what I'll
card.
do then.
Just ask all your family for Amazon gift cards. That's all you want, and then you just spend on those sweet books. You know.
All right,
Although
guys,
if you're gonna bank your sorry.
I was gonna say I'm heading out.
Okay, bye,
Alright.
Marcel,
bye, Marcel.
Marcel.
thanks so much. We appreciate your wisdom.
It's been so long since I've
Good
heard your
night,
voice in person.
Marcel.
I know. Yours too,
Leave
Alex.
Bid us good night with the narrator voice, Marcel. That's the last thing I ask of you.
I'll bother you with Dune tomorrow.
Yeah, Alex, every time I read the Dune quotes that you send me, I read them in your voice. And it pleases me.
Oh
Right.
my
Thank
gosh.
you.
What I do, I don't know. I think you have a really good
saying-
narration voice yourself.
So you're saying to me
That means
you
a lot
hear them
coming
as-
from you.
You hear them as the voice of Cam Solusar, then.
That is, I'll ensure that Darth Matu hears this stream tomorrow, and particularly that
Oh.
part.
One last thing, Marcel, you
Yeah.
were the one who said that I Have No Mouth and I'm a Scream was one of your favorite stories, right?
Yeah, Harlan Ellison.
Did you read it or did you listen to my video?
Not yet. I will.
Oh,
It's on
okay,
my
okay.
watch list.
Okay, all right. I was curious to your thoughts, but I guess I'll have to wait.
This last week has been brutal work wise, but it's on my
No, I
watch
completely
list.
get it. Okay, I completely get it.
I promise I will.
Yeah. Okay. Well, have a good night, man. You deserve a good one.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll be dreaming about the recanonization of the expanded universe.
Oh man,
Nice,
what a good
nice.
dream. Enjoy it while it
Marcel,
lasts.
Marcel, tomorrow, make sure to let me know what you think of the new canon thing being canonized in the EU. because I find it super interesting. I want to know.
We shall be watching your video with great interest.
Indeed.
Okay, good night,
Watch
guys.
your career with great interest. See you.
By
So
myself,
I'm going to I'm gonna get the Shadow. I'm gonna get the Shadow Hunter book anyway. But is it like super necessary for that?
No, you don't need
Okay.
any book to enjoy Darth Plagueis. You will just appreciate Darth Plagueis more if you know. And you wouldn't be able to get all the references anyway because it references so much.
Yeah, but
in Darth
also
Plagueis.
keep in mind Darth Plagueis, it'll heighten episode 1 so much. I would recommend watching episode 1 and then reading Darth Plagueis.
Oh, don't worry. I watched episode 1 like last week.
It'll make you appreciate episode 1 so much more. Like it made, because episode 1 is my least favorite of the 6 Star Wars movies, discounting the Disney movies, because I like to forget they exist. It
Yes.
makes me be able to sleep at night and make me not sick to my stomach. So I like to just ignore them. So it's my least favorite of the 6, but it made me appreciate Phantom Menace so much more, like the Darth Plagueis novel.
Liam, if you do end up getting money though for EU spending, I would recommend using that money for post Return of the Jedi, because I think that's where you're going to get the greatest bang for your buck. Because basically everything you read, minus Bounty Hunter Wars, because it's pointless and boring. Anyway, before you talk, hold on.
Listen to Lance.
Listen, Liam. Bounty Hunter Wars is not mentioned anywhere else in the expanded universe except for in episode 2 Adventures.
Alex,
nobody cares about it.
If the EU continued, all of it would have been from post Crucible to Legacy.
Yeah,
just
Legacy
been Bounty
of the
Hunter
Forces,
Wars
Boba.
stories.
Does it mention anything from Bounty Hunter Wars? No, it doesn't.
So Alex, Crucible to Legacy, if the EU continued, would just be Bounty Hunter Wars style stories referencing Bounty Hunter Wars.
No, it wouldn't. Yeah, Denning.
Yeah.
You love Denning.
Yeah,
Also, Alex, would you be okay if when I do my Dawn of the Jedi book review on my YouTube channel, would you be okay if would you be if I like added you throwing slave ship in there as like a meme?
Yeah, go for it.
When I review that book.
Yeah, and edit Dawn of the Jedi onto it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing. I'm serious though that you're like New Jedi Order will not reference Bounty Hunter Wars, but every other story you read, post Return of the Jedi, Truce of Bakora, the X-Wing books, the Thrawn trilogy, Jedi Academy, every story that you read in the Bantam era, when you finally get to NJO, which is like the big Avengers event of the Star Wars Expanded Universe, everything you read before will be referenced at some point or another through characters or through locations or through old villains, and you will appreciate New Jedi Order to the highest degree if you've read everything in the Bantam era.
That's
why I
stuff
recommend
like Young
that.
Jedi Knights.
Yes, Young Jedi Knights doesn't count. I'm sure Quinlan has ways of giving you Young Jedi Knights for free, because you can't get it on without spending a hefty price on those.
Young Jedi Knights. How?
Yeah.
How do you? Oh yeah. I have a.
You have stuff. I know you do.
I have a. Yes.
He has sources.
Yeah, you have that sounds a little sus. You doing something a little bit illegal?
I mean, it's trustworthy.
No, Matt Wilkins would never do something illegal, and I got it from Matt.
Yeah, so it's Matt's
of course. Yeah. I trust Matt. Matt wouldn't do something illegal, would he? I mean,
no, Matt's totally.
No.
He would never.
Never.
Good night. Good games.
I'm taking a screenshot. Highly enjoyed the stream. Thank you.
That was really fun.
I'm framing that because my ego is at an all-time low. Thank you.
But yeah, like without spoilers, Liam, like you'll have
you have to read Young Jedi Knights, Junior Jedi Knights before NJO though. I
like it's not essential, but you're gonna see.
I say it's an extreme must because it'll make one sentence in certain books. It'll make literally like a one sentence reference.
Good night,
like,
good games.
Heartbreaking and crushing.
Yes.
See,
If
good games.
you
The-
read Young Jedi Knights and Junior Jedi Knights.
The only issue with Young Jedi Knights is that R.A. Salvatore did not give a crap about them because Jason acts nothing like he does in Young Jedi Knights. Jason is the
That's
most
true.
inconsistent characters in all of Star Wars. However, Jason is also one of my favorite characters. It
Yeah,
just
Jason's
happens that
my-
he's not the most consistent.
If I wasn't
Okay.
named Quinlan Voss, I'd be named Jason Solo. He's my
Yeah.
tied for first favorite.
Jason Solo has a better fall than Anakin Skywalker does. And I'll
Oh.
hold to that. Forever.
Easily. And for people to say Kylo Ren was based on Jason Solo is just an insult to Jason
It is an
Solo.
insult.
They're nothing alike.
No.
Like Kylo Ren is like the
Kylo Ren is a fanboy of Darth Vader. Jason
Kylo
is
Ren's
older than Anakin was when he turned, and he constantly uses that as an excuse. Because I know more than my grandfather did when he made his decisions.
Jason's arrogant. He thinks he knows more than Luke. He thinks he knows more
I'm
than
stronger than
Anakin. He
Anakin
thinks
was
he's
back
stronger
then.
and mature. He learns more.
I mean,
so
he is
learns-
stronger than Anakin by that point in time,
Yeah,
but still.
He learns lots of force powers that aren't just Jedi force powers, so he thinks, I've learned all this. I'm too powerful to become corrupted.
Well, so like without spoilers, he goes through a lot more than Anakin ever did at his age. So when Anakin was 16, he was still at the Jedi Temple with Obi-Wan doing, stuff that he does in the young adult series, Jedi Quest, right? But the stuff he was going through is nowhere near what the Solo children go through during New Jedi Order. And so he goes through a lot there. And
oh
he's
my
still
goodness, yeah.
well, that's an understatement, but he's still a good guy by the end of that series. He's not like a bad guy or anything.
If you think Anakin's like loss of a mother and fighting a Clone Wars is hard,
Clone
my
Wars has
goodness.
nothing on the Yusong Vong War.
the Yuzon Vong War is like the Clone
Trillions
Wars
of people
to-
die during
to-
it.
Yeah, and I think that's even an underestimation. Think about, I would say trillions died on Coruscant alone. If you think about how
Well, I'm
many
just
people
going by
on
the number that
Coruscant-
they give us in one of the books. One of the numbers they give us in the book is trillions. I don't remember how many trillions, but they trillions.
What do you mean I don't like you?
What do you mean, male exile? Oh wait, aren't you the one who says that you? No, you're not the one that says.
He's
Somebody's
on-
like you have to play as
he's
a
on-
female for the exile.
He's on Iron Inquisitor's streams.
Oh.
He's there a lot.
But yeah, the difference between Kylo and Jason Solo is that Kylo Ren is a fanboy, and
He's emo.
Jason compares himself. Jason compares himself to grandfather and tries to show why the reason he's doing things is different and better. And I'm not my grandfather, which is why I can do this and he couldn't. So now people are going to argue, like on quality autism, that it's inconsistent. And is it a little bit? I will grant it a little bit, but
it works overall.
there's
So
an
we're-
explanation that Denning gives that is at least something, as opposed to if you go from Young Jedi Knights to NGO, there's no explanation for the character change. He goes from this like animal loving jokester to this philosophical guy, and there's no explanation for it.
Arguably, without Denning in NJO, a lot of Young Jedi Knights would have been forgotten. Because he and Greg Keyes brought back the Young Jedi Knights and Junior Jedi Knight characters and put them at the forefront. Denning was the one who re-explored Zek and Jaina as a relationship, brought back Lobaka, brought back Tenel Ka, brought back Raynar. He brought back all these characters from there. If Denning hadn't been there writing, it would have been forgotten. He made those books essential, which is just one of the many reasons why I like Denning.
Male Exile says he's in the servers.
Yeah,
I don't know if he means your server.
He is
Oh,
in. He's in the Praxium. He's in the Jedi Praxium. He's in several.
Why do you think he doesn't like you?
I don't know why he thinks I don't like him. I like him a lot. I mean,
Also, after watching your very interesting clips that you took, which of you guys defending the Troy Denning, it sounds so
defending-
funny hearing
the
that.
defending Denning clips.
Yeah.
Well, because
I'll-
people
I'll
make
have to
fun of specifically Darkness with certain things that are fair. But then they don't mention stuff like how in the X-Wing novels, Cornhorn talks about having sex with the Solonian, which is basically a space
An
otter.
otter.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's very detailed. He talks about how it's really rough, like putting your stuff up against rocks. But how when you reach that sweet center, it's all worth it.
Oh
And it's
boy.
like, why'd I have to read about that?
Oh.
Why'd I have to know about that?
Denning.
Then they're gonna say that Denning somehow works.
No, Denning's. Denning. Wait. What book was that in?
This happened in, I think, Wedge's Gamble, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, did it? Okay.
I
Yeah.
think.
Well, I'd say that's just like art that none of us can understand. That's like way above our heads. That's like the most abstract thing you could think of.
Stackpole, Steve Perry, and Troy Denning are probably most sexual authors.
I've heard that
Yeah.
Shadows of the Empire, speaking of Steve Perry, is a really good novel, I've heard.
It is a good novel.
It's
There's
good.
just
It's
one
good.
chapter
There's
that's
one bit
very
that's
hard
like-
to read.
It's like, what am I reading? You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think Denning, he's probably is the most like into it for some reason with like talking about that stuff, but he always does it in a PG-13 way. He
Sure.
never explicitly goes like he'll imply stuff heavily,
Yeah.
but he'll never outright
like,
say it.
Darkness is very
Stackpole
like.
just straight out said that Corn was
Cthulhu.
having sex with this thing and going into detail about what it's like, and I didn't need to know that. I didn't want to know that, but now I know that. So thank you, Stackpole.
You're not the only one cursed with knowledge.
I love that MCU reference. That was great.
Stackpole be like, use my knowledge. For what,
Nice.
Stackpole? I'll tell you in time.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Stackpole. Who? Tidus.
Perry has a very bad chapter.
Tidus. What do you think of that? Yeah. Steve
Yeah.
Perry does admittedly have a bad.
What do I
chapter.
think of the sex
Perry's
fiends of the
perfect.
EU?
Of the Solonian in particular? I'm sure you have some thoughts.
I mean, I have no clue what you're talking about. Honestly, I've heard
Solonian-
Alex talk
Should I
about it.
share my screen to show you what a Solonian is?
You're talking about the giant
I
otters.
suppose so. 'Cause
Yeah. Awesome, Exile. He met
You
Michael
met
Stackpole.
Michael Stackpole? That's so cool.
That's cooler than what I think any of us have done. I don't think any of us have met him.
Romance Stackpole.
Liam was at a convention and he took a photo of Timothy Zahn.
I couldn't get a
Awesome.
close up because he was charging like $100 for photos. So I was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Hell nah.
And and of course they wouldn't accept card or anything. And we didn't expect. It was our first ever time going to like a convention, so we forgot to bring any cash.
Brennan, I told you I knew what a Solonian looked like.
Yeah, I was just showing it.
Han Solo punches one in the
for the,
Corellian trilogy.
Yeah, I've seen that image before. Ken
great.
sent that in the group chat. Well, not group chat, Discord. You know what I mean?
Dude, the Corellian trilogy is good, and Thrak and Sao Solo is a great villain.
Where's the Solonian? versus
That's
Han?
the image that Stackpole saw, and he's like, "Damn, I need that in my book."
The only book I have from the Bounty Hunter trilogy is the one you threw across the room.
Oh,
I don't
can
have
you, Can
anything
you show that
from-
clip real quick?
Yeah, I'll show it. Just a second. Look at this. How is that not awesome? Look at that. It's a
That
giant
is awesome.
otter fighting one. I love it.
The Corellian trilogy is
alright.
phenomenal.
That's really cool. Alright, I like that.
You met Kevin J. Anderson and John Jackson Miller? Dang, Male Exile would be cooler than all of us.
Wait,
Oh
what's your,
dang, that's really cool.
is it called Magneno Alex Wilkins?
Well, no, Gavin wasn't the one that had that happen. It was Corrin telling Gavin. So Gavin in the X-Wing books wants to date a Solonian. Okay, he's not racist. Okay, he's a furry. Anyway, so Corrin tells him about a time that he went out with the Solonian and did the dirty deeds with the Solonian, and he goes into detail talking about how
boy.
it's like putting it up against rocks.
Yeah, I
And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
rough until you
Alex,
reach
Yeah.
Alex, Alex, I don't know if I want to hear it a third time.
I don't think you need to
I'm
repeat
sorry.
it that many times.
Sorry. Look,
Alex,
it's stuck in
you're
my head.
It's starting to sound like you and Michael Stackpole were on the same page.
No.
Also, by the way, I need to mention something here real quick. Timothy Zahn is like really, really old. Like he's so deaf. Like I didn't know anything about Star Wars, and I still don't. So it was mainly my dad doing all the talking. But when we went up to him, he was like, "What? What? What?" Just over and over. It was the place wasn't even that loud because it had just opened up.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we see it.
All right, that's a good sign. Scrolling through the Alex videos. What is this?
Oh boy, here we go.
Brennan, after 4 hours, I finally got my mod to work.
Wow, it took that long.
Oh,
to
it's right. It's
download?
right up there on the right.
Sorry,
on the
it's
right.
up there. It's up there. You had it.
Finally,
back
I
up.
can
Oh yeah,
play.
Up to the right.
Lance, the Star Wars EU teen inspired. Star Wars: The Next Generation.
No, not that one. Go up again.
No. That's the slave ship one.
Well, let me
No.
test to see if it works for real.
No, it's the slave ship.
the
It's the
last
third book.
Slave ship.
Please,
Yeah, the last one.
I
I
beg,
thought it was hard merchandise.
please work.
Hard merchandise.
Please.
Yeah, it's hard merchandise.
Oh, it is
Oh
for
my
merchandise.
God.
Oh, I'm stupid. Oh, sorry.
Oh
I thought it was slave ship. My bad.
No,
It's
worries.
not working.
No, it's not. That's too bad. My
I just-
favorite comment. I shamelessly took a clip from Alex's videos and posted them on my channel as defending the EU videos. And my favorite comment is one from Marcel that says, "Destroyed with facts and logic."
Oh my goodness. That's a really bad
Anything.
Stop.
Disgusting aspect to Boba Fett, in my opinion. If you just want Boba Fett from the movies,
Can
who's
you hear it
amazing
too?
Yes.
Oh no, what just happened?
It
and
like
mysterious
glitched out.
and perfect at everything he does, Gary, Stu, and all, this trilogy is for you. If you actually want a story, yeah.
I'm
I
sorry.
love-
I'm sorry.
I love how he smiles and then you're like, "I threw that really hard." Sorry,
I'm
I've got to see it
I'm
again.
sorry. I can't stop. It's just it's hilarious. It
If you
genuinely
actually
is
want
hilarious.
a story, skip.
Is your facial expression
Really
afterwards?
hard. Luckily, no one's telling me now. Oh my goodness.
I love how he.
You want a
say, "Oh my goodness."
story? Yeet, and then just like, and then you smile after.
It's so good. That's so good. I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but even more hilarious is I believe that's a book that I sent Alex a copy of.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my! You just threw.
I felt bad after.
Pressing.
No, but that's genuinely one of my favorite clips in the EU community. That may be the best EU YouTube clip I've ever had the pleasure of witnessing.
I believe so as well. I don't think there's anything great.
Who needs,
That
who needs,
moment
who
right
needs
there.
Christopher Nelson's obscure EU RPG videos, or Matt Wilkins' Star Wars review videos, or even reading with the Revanchist? We have Alex throwing a book at a wall.
Yeah.
Oh
It's the
my
most
God.
angry I've ever
Perfection.
gotten. I started
Yeah.
off so excited, and I did the trilogy, wanted to kill myself. It was so bad.
So how is Boba Fett in those books?
Boba
Because
Fett is exactly how he is in the movies. So
Oh,
a
that
nothing character that's really
sucks.
cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You would think in a trilogy of novels that you'd get some like nuance to his character, like maybe understand why he does what he does and stuff. And no, he's just, I'm a cool guy. I can do everything. I'm a Gary Stu. I'm perfect. I don't make any wrongs. They're
Does
bounty
he have
hunters.
at
So
least
I can
more than
seem
5
cooler.
lines?
He does have more than 5 lines. That is something
Are
he
they
does have.
are they good ones?
I guess it depends. Do you want a character? Or do you want somebody cool for like 6 hours? If you just want somebody cool, then you'll get exactly what you asked for. If you want something more, look elsewhere.
Is that like the only This is a stupid question, probably. Is that the only thing Boba Fett's in the EU?
No,
There's-
he's in
there's
the
some-
end of
there's
New
some-
Jedi Order.
There's
He's
some
in
Boba Fett. There's some Boba Fett young readers
Wait, isn't he
novels.
in Bloodlines? Because isn't he on the cover of it?
Yeah,
that's
he's
a
in-
Legacy of the Force. He's in Legacy of the Force. He's a heavy.
Um,
He's actually a good character in Legacy of the Force.
Yeah, he is. He really is. I liked his relationship with a certain character in that. But he's also got a novella that's a prequel to New Jedi Order.
Yeah.
He's also got some comics about him. He's got
The
Boba
best
Fett-
comics about him is Blood Ties and
Yeah, I agree.
Boba Fett.
Yeah, so it's Blood Ties. There's Man with a Mission, Imperial, and Agent of the Empire.
Agent of
and
the
in-
Empire is kooky though. There's Agent of the Empire is. I don't think that's one of the first Boba Fett stories you should read. It's a little out there. Basically, there's this talking head that can see like the future or something.
What?
Vader wants it.
Oh
Yeah,
wait,
Vader wants it. That's
That
that's
doesn't
an
sound
enemy.
like Star
sorry, no, not
Wars.
Agents of the Empire.
Enemy
Sorry,
of the Empire.
no, sorry, it's Enemy of the Empire. Agents of the Empire is like a James Bond
Yeah,
thing.
and there's the Legion of Pessimists,
okay.
an Enemy of the Empire. They're called the Order of Pessimists, and they go woe to me, and they do chants about how terrible life is. And I was like, these
Yeah.
people are my people.
Yeah,
I
and
should
so
join
there's a
them.
severed head and
That's
goes and talks
Oh,
to so
yeah.
Vader and Boba fight. And
that's something.
Then
It is
there's some
something.
Boba Fett. There's some Boba Fett young readers novels during the Clone Wars about him as a kid. I actually
Those
thought
are
he was
okay.
good. I actually thought he was a good character in those. I like felt for him. You know, his father's dead. He's trying to make his way in the universe. He's a simple kid trying to make his way in the universe.
I will say that if you liked Boba Fett in the prequels, you'll like it. I will say, it might just be because I was spoiled. Not spoiled in the sense I knew things beforehand, but because I was spoiled with such good writing from Young Jedi Knights, Junior Jedi Knights, from Jedi Apprentice,
Apprentice,
especially, and Jedi Quest. That when I got to that one, it's just
You
more of what you would expect from a young reader's book.
Yeah.
To the excellence that we got.
Alex, do you like
So,
Last of the
it's all-
Jedi?
Not really. I don't hate it, but it's I'm
do you like
warm to it.
Do you like Rebel Force?
I do like Rebel Force more than the last of the Jedi.
Nice. Do you like the missions books? I've not read many of the missions books.
I haven't
And what
read
about-
all of them. I've read 6 or 7. I enjoyed them.
What about the Galaxy of Fear
interesting.
stuff?
Galaxy of Fear is okay. So
Galaxy of Fear is
doing
so
a young.
What is Galaxy?
doing-
of Fear? I've heard of it.
It's a young
Goosebumps
adult.
in
It's a young
Star
adult
Wars.
series.
It's Goosebumps
Basically,
in Star Wars.
Goosebumps is a really big thing in the 90s, and Lucasfilm wanted to cash in on that, so they made a series called Galaxy of Fear.
Okay.
It's really good. I would say it goes Jedi Apprentice, which is a young adult series. Then I'm gonna piss some people off with this one. I'm gonna say Galaxy of Fear,
Excuse
and
me,
Young
sorry.
Jedi Knights, and Junior Jedi
No, but,
Knights.
Young Jedi Knights is a
Quest.
Young Jedi Knights is not a young reader's novel. It's a young adult novel. It's
a young
a
adult
different
novel.
series. It's a different classification.
Sorry,
Young readers to young adult.
young adult novel, but it would go Jedi Apprentice for me, Galaxy of Fear, Young Jedi Knights, Junior Jedi Knights, Jedi Quest, Rebel Force, Last Jedi, Rebel Force, the Boba Fett books, the Last Jedi at the very bottom.
Okay.
What about Science Adventures? I like those. Those are good.
Those are, I mean, they're fine.
What about
Favorite
what about the Adventures in Hyperspace ones?
Oh, those are great. Those are fun. Those are
Fire
good.
Ring,
I don't
Fire
think,
Ring Race, Shinbone Showdown, and the Big Switch. Those are good.
yeah, those are really fun. Yeah, I
Quick
enjoy
question. I'm assuming you can probably find them on Amazon, but is there any specific place where you can find like the young readers? Because I'm assuming I probably won't be able to find Jedi Quest in just any bookstore, or maybe I would. I don't know.
You can do
Okay,
Quest
so-
easily on Kindle.
Okay.
You should pay a hefty sum because there's no Kindle version of it.
Here's the thing. On eBay, super expensive. On thrift books, super expensive. On Amazon, super expensive. So what I did was I bought it in bulk, which helped a little bit. I got all of Last of the Jedi for $30, all of Jedi Quest for I think it was 40, all of Jedi Apprentice for 70, which is a lot of money, right? It's a lot of money.
Oh
but,
yeah.
It saved it over buying them individually. However, that being said, I found many Galaxy of Fear books for $1 or $2 at old comic shops and half-price books and Second and Charles bookstores. Those are some used bookstores. So if you ever see a Second and Charles or a half-price book or just any mom and pop bookstore, definitely go back and check through the young readers section, because I've found some really good deals on some of those young readers novels at these tiny little bookstores. It's definitely worth checking out. You could save a ton of money. That's one of the rare cases where I'd say buying used at a store is cheaper than online. But yeah, it's such a shame that they're so expensive. They really need to reprint them.
Yeah,
Disney would make so much
really
money
sad.
if they did that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think they would, even if it had that crappy Legends banner on it.
Yeah,
it definitely would.
And updated cover art, it could be awesome.
Indeed.
New covers, it would be great.
Like they've been doing for the Essential Legends.
Exactly, except I would want all of them to be styled like they would all be styled like Dawn of the Jedi. That would be awesome.
No.
Yeah, I'm
so
kidding.
Ugly.
I'm trolling. It's the ugliest cover art I've ever seen.
The character on there doesn't even look like Lannery.
No, it doesn't.
Essential Legends collections have been better than.
Why does her jaw stick out so far? I'm so confused.
Because it's written by a high schooler.
Oh,
I'm making that up now.
The art
just looks like something a high schooler would draw.
Marcel said his 4-year-old daughter could draw better than it, and I believed him.
I could believe it. I mean, I don't draw figures, so what do I know? But if you're gonna make a book, probably shouldn't use that.
Yeah, I have no words for that cover other than what's wrong with her face. Like, she does not look anything like Lannery from the cover.
Anatomically correct.
And the planets in the background, that's cool, but like if it was a cool character in the front, it would help a lot. Then the Republic Commando art is like so lame.
Right.
And what's the other one? The Yoda one. It looks cool, but it's literally just a picture of Yoda, like with a filter on it. Why couldn't they like make it some really cool art of Yoda fighting Dooku? Or
exactly. The original cover art was better.
Yeah.
It was so much better.
Or like new art of Wee Mauru and Scout on the cover of it, who were Jedi apprentices in the book.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought the Heir to the Empire covers were actually pretty decent. Same with Darth Bane Path of Destruction.
They're probably the most decent.
I really like the Bane ones, the new Bane ones.
I don't.
What?
I'm much. No,
the new Death Troopers one looks pretty bad.
Not compared to the original.
Yeah, that's true.
And I freaking love the original Bane. Even the second one, which is probably the most weird looking. The original Bane covers, just they felt like Star Wars.
Shatterpoint and Kenobi's covers look pretty good. For the
fine.
I agree.
I prefer. I don't know.
I want to get all the Essential Legends collections eventually, like in addition to the copies I already have, like long term, because like it's really nice that they're like all the same size and the same like formatting. Like if they release all of them like that, that would look so cool on a shelf. All of them together. Also, they're thin, so they take up less shelf space. So it's just all around really cool.
I only have the Darth Bane Path of Destruction Essential Legends. That's the only one I have currently.
Awesome. I don't have any yet.
Need the rest. Because Darth Bane trilogy is top 10 of the entire expanded universe of things you just have to read.
I was never that interested in it. I didn't read it until it was one of the last EU novels I read when I was reading through them all. because I was just interested in many other ones first. And after Darth Bane, the only ones I had after that were like Cessa's Deception, Galaxies, The Ruins of Dantooine, Jedi Trial, Approaching Storm, like scraping the bottom of the
It's
barrel.
all the bad stuff, yeah.
There's like
But,
a
You know,
3
I
or
like
4 hour
Bane.
long card game at the start.
I loved it.
Bane, yeah.
No, it was
It's not
good.
3 or 4 hours, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it was a long card game.
They were playing
Well-
Monopoly or something.
I really enjoyed that. I don't think the slow pacing the first one makes sense because
Yeah.
it's not even slow pacing, but you're seeing
They're building
his
the
origin.
character.
It's it's like the Spider-Man movie from whichever one you're taking, Andrew or Toby. You know, they're in high
Now,
school first.
Alex-
you see them
Alex
getting
has the-
bullied.
Alex has the incredibly correct opinion that Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man because he is.
Toby. Anyway, the point being is they're not Spider-Man the first second you watch the movie, or at least in the first one, because they're turning into that character.
I like
Bane
Andrew
is not.
Garfield's, but like Toby, for me, that's just the original one for me.
Thank you. I agree with you. But Toby is the equivalent of Kevin Conroy as Batman, and
Yeah.
that other people can play him, but people are going to think of Toby when they think of Spider-Man. And what I was saying is that
the origin, yeah.
yeah, because you spend that time with Dez before he becomes this evil Dark Lord, and you have it's like what 4 sections of the book because you have him as his normal person. You can see the seeds of it already there, but he's not a bad guy yet. Then you have him training at the academy. He still isn't entirely bad yet. He still has he's somewhat decent still, even though he's clearly with the bad guys now. And then he's a Dark Lord of the Sith, or he's one of the Dark Brotherhood or whatever.
Brotherhood
and this is
of
where
like
darkness.
starts with a K, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kane.
Darkness.
Khan, sorry.
Khan, that's his name. The dude who leads it or whatever.
Literally, Skier Khan is his name. Yeah, that's great.
And then the last section is Bane versus other Sith, and it's wonderful. So I think the first book works really well in how it
I like it
structures
even back
itself.
to that opening in the mines. Even back to that,
Yes.
it's instantly good.
The whole section with Karpyshyn's one of the few people I actually enjoy action, because I'm notorious for not giving a crap about action in novels.
Yeah, I prefer dialogue to action in all the novels.
Like a script. Like I enjoy reading a script. I don't enjoy like action scenes because I don't have good imagination.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna,
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think reading the dialogue is way more fun for the lore aspect than the duels themselves.
Drew Karpyshyn was one of the few who actually got me into action. Like I could actually enjoy his action scenes.
See,
I just think because of the way he wrote it.
I think the Bane books are good, but I don't think they're the best in the EU. I think they're good.
I think they're definitely. I think they're top
overrated.
10. I think they're at least in the top 10.
I would put them top 30. But then again, I have some weird top ones like Shadow Games, Cross Current, Riptide, Scoundrels. I have some weird stuff in the top.
Scoundrels I've heard is really good.
Scoundrels will never go in the top 10.
Scoundrels is so good. It's the best
No,
Timothy novel.
he's so wrong. But he's free to hold that opinion.
Alex, careful. I could mute you. No, I wouldn't do that. I won't censor your opinion, Alex.
Scoundrels is a fun book. It's also pointless. They have this entire
I'm gonna open up YouTube and I'm gonna see on Brennan's channel defending Scoundrels, why it's the greatest Star Wars book of all time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, not the best, but I have it top 5. I'm afraid.
Unfortunately for
Alex.
him.
No, Alex. I get that because of the previous lore in the comics, nothing can happen. But Timothy Zahn, towards the end, seemed like he wanted to jam force stuff everywhere. And this was a jam forced novel that I enjoyed. I sat back, relaxed, and enjoyed the ride. It was so good.
Fair. That's fair. But I don't know.
Valentine's
if it's-
Star is great.
If it's Zahn, can you really go wrong though?
It actually
mean-
wasn't Sabak, was it? I thought it was
I thought
No,
it was
no, you're
Pizak,
right. It
wasn't
was.
Oh, it was Sabak.
No,
Okay.
it's Pizak back and KOTOR and
Yeah,
stuff. But by the time of Bane, it was only 1,000 years before Episode 1, so it was Sabak by
It was
that point.
Sabak, yeah. Sabak spelled with a C though at the end, I think, right?
Yes, Sabak.
Now
It's with two
I've gotta-
C's.
I've got to
at the
say,
end.
Zahn, his first work was solid, but then towards the end, a lot of people didn't like it. Like Allegiance and Choices of One, people don't like, and then also people don't like Survivor's Quest particularly.
Allegiance is a boring slog.
What
Some
about
of his
Up
later-
on Flight? Because that's like the prequel
Outbound
to that.
Flight's
Is that
good.
good?
People
Outbound
love
Flight's
Outbound
good.
Flight, yeah.
It's Outbound
What about
Flight trilogy.
what about the duology with the Hand of Dawn?
And sounds good. It just didn't need to be 2 books. It could have been
Hand
done
of-
in one.
Hand of Thrawn is way too long. It's padded out. There's a lot of fluff.
That's what I'm
Wasn't it
saying.
meant to be in just one book originally?
Both- I'm glad it wasn't
Well,
a
if you
trilogy.
talk to
Both those books are thick books. They're really
If you-
long.
Yeah, and if you talk to Noah in Germany, they did get a trilogy.
Oh,
so,
did they? Interesting.
I don't know how
What
they.
did
I don't know how
call-
they split.
What did they call the third one?
I forget what Noah said they were called, but it was weird. You should ask Noah about it sometime. But it was like
Alex. Earlier in the stream, I showed the Galaxy of Fear German cover. It is horrific. Go back and see what it looks
Oh
like.
goodness!
I will.
It's a baby's floating face with sharp teeth. Like we've
Yeah.
got to ask Noah what the heck's going on in Germany.
Germans just don't
and-
care.
Be careful when talking to Noah. I have a screenshot of him saying he'd take Mein Kampf over, which is by Adolf Hitler, over anything
Yeah.
Benning has ever written.
He's
So,
just joking. He just
I
likes
don't
to
think
say
I don't
Be
think I've ever
mindful
been
of Noah.
introduced to Noah. He's quality autism, right?
yes.
Yeah.
He's
I-
just he's a German with strong opinions about Denning, and he likes to say outlandish things
He's
to show how
he's a
much he
civil-
hates it.
He's been a civil guy to me. He's been nice. He knows where
No,
I stand with
he's
Benning.
a great guy. He just
He's a good guy.
he memes
But-
really hard.
Yeah, but you have to be careful with him. He's feisty. He's got some fire to him. But then again,
Yeah,
all
but
Germans do.
He's a school bully if you let him be one.
Uh-oh.
So you just have only if I don't think he necessarily means to. When his name's called the autism, I think he actually is admitting he has some autism. I don't know, but he will initially like start off as a joke,
Now,
and then no one. Yeah,
Alex, is quantitative autism him or is it a fan?
no, that's a fan.
And isn't there another autism club?
There's like 4 or 5 of them that are all memeing. Yes.
yeah,
You'll have like 5 autisms commenting on Matt's videos.
an,
But
an infection of autism. Should
Yeah.
I be saying
No.
that?
sure, go for it. But
That,
yeah,
that
Noah
was
just
Alex
has
proof. So if I'm going down, I'm taking him with me.
yeah. Noah just has strong opinions about post New Jedi Order.
Mhm.
He doesn't like any
Yeah.
of the stories that happened after New Jedi
I'm-
Order, with the sole exception of the Legacy comics.
I'm so
Um,
thankful that Marcella's editing his ultimate chronology that he's writing, and Marcella's like making sure there's no bias towards the Denning content in it. And from what I heard, he did a really good job writing it, though. Like,
No, he did.
unbiased.
The way Noah does things is like what a true EU author does. Whether he likes something or dislikes something, he's going to write it accurately. So when he was writing his chronology, it had nothing to do with his personal feelings about
Yeah,
the
he-
Denning. He's going to make
I
the
respect him
ultimate
for that.
chronology.
I
That
respect him.
yeah, that
And you know what?
that if
I'm gonna
the
give
EU
him
actually
20
did it, would have done it. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm gonna give him
That's
20
good to
bucks
hear.
for it. You know, I'm gonna buy it as soon as it's a print. Yeah, Mail Exile here. Oh, is that why you said I didn't like you? Because one time Mail Exile said he would kiss Noah, and I responded in the Discord. That would be like I would rather cease to live than kiss Noah. I was joking too. Is that why you thought I didn't like you? No, I like you. I was just joking. Yeah.
Maybe Noah a girl. I have
What?
pictures of Noah as a girl. there's some edits of some of us to look like.
Oh, wow.
birds. So
Yeah,
there's one from like a Baywatch with Palpatine from Dark Empire and us as woman. It's pretty funny. And Dennings there, of course, because of course.
yeah. Tidus, you still in the land of the
He's
living?
still in the land of
bet he
living.
is.
Yes, I've lost all my spirit. This mod, I just can't get it to work.
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Like I've been watching this damn tutorial video for like 30 minutes now, and I'm doing everything, every step, but it just won't work.
Well, it is
Feel
3
that.
o'clock. 3 o'clock for me.
Brandon, you should
Same
go to
here.
bed.
Yeah, we probably should. What time is it for you? Because you're like,
It's
It's
3
12
o'clock.
a.m. for me.
oh dang.
And Tidus,
And
it's
I got work.
2, right? It's 2 for Tidus.
Yes.
I love Alex scolding me like, Brennan, you should go to bed.
Yeah.
But
I'm
also,
the only,
I've got work tomorrow.
I'm the old person here, so Marcel left, so I have to keep the young
Yeah,
ones in check.
Got the
That's
maturity.
true. We gotta go to bed.
I'm the
Yeah.
Yoda here.
I
What's
was
the
about to do an
difference?
impression of Yoda voice. I was gonna do a Yoda voice, but it wouldn't have been very good.
What is Obi-Wan Kenobi's favorite cuisine?
What is his favorite? I must know.
Obi-Wan Cannoli. I'm stealing this from Game Grumps, by the way. Where does Vader like to get all of his designer shoes?
Where?
At the Darth Mall. It's really stupid, yeah. What
It's
is
sad 'cause
Yoda's favorite
I
car
laughed
brand?
really hard at the first one.
What is Yoda's favorite car brand?
Tell me.
A Toyota.
That was actually genuinely funny. That one actually got a laugh out of me.
I bet Tidus is muted, but he's like laughing so hard right now.
I think he's just so focused on his mod right now. I think he's
I'm
lost the
too
will to
filled
laugh.
with anger to laugh at this point.
I called
It's
it.
filled with the dark side.
Tidus, did the humor there not alleviate some of the mod tension?
No. No.
What's the difference between a cannibal? Oh, sorry, no, sorry. What did the cannibal get when he came late to the party?
What?
A cold shoulder.
That's bad.
Remember,
Brennan.
Tidus, fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads
What do
to
you-
suffering.
What do you call a
Brennan.
disrespectful primate?
What?
What?
A bad boon.
Ooh. I get it. Hey, Brennan.
Yes.
I was
sir.
reading this book, Anti-Gravity.
Okay.
I couldn't put it down.
My gosh.
It's not that he wasn't good at juggling. He just didn't have the balls to do it.
I thought you were being serious, Alex. But
No.
Alex. Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
You know else you can't put down?
Yeah.
You know else, you know else you can't put down?
Is
What
it
else?
Saloni and Michael Stackpole books?
Yeah, I was gonna say D's nuts, but I don't want
Humor. Peak humor.
Oh boy.
Peak humor.
Humor at its
This is
finest.
how we know you all need to go to bed.
Now, Alex, I thought you were
I usually don't laugh at
Also,
these nuts jokes,
you're-
but it's past 3 a.m. and I'm tired.
Alex.
Yeah.
To say us all, you're the one who started these jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Alex, I thought you were gonna give me some good advice. You were like, "Look, Brennan." He said it so seriously. I was like, "All right, I'm gonna get some good advice here." And then it was just a stupid joke about gravity. But you know, I respect you for it. I respect you all the more for it.
You like
Hey,
my acting
Yoda
skills
over
there?
here is wise. You never know.
Yeah,
That joke could save your life someday.
Maybe, perhaps, if
You
I'm
just
in a
have to
wrong.
reading
look
books.
deeper with the Force and what it truly means.
Yes, I will contemplate the deep meaning behind Alex's words, but
I'll leave you with this. This is how we should all leave it
Oh
for the
boy.
end of the night.
Let's do this.
I'm gonna thank everyone in the comments. Thank you everyone in the comments. Thank you to everyone who came on. I appreciate all the support.
Remember,
It's really cool to
everyone,
it's really cool to have an audience that sticks around. And now I'm gonna end the broadcast.
subscribe
after
to
whatever
Brennan.
Alex says.
Oh, I
Alex,
thought
what
it was
did
gonna
you
be a
say?
joke.
Yeah, you saw it.
Oh, was that
Got me.
there? Was that it?
No, I was just saying like how wonderful Brennan is. Everybody needs to show him love and support and subscribe because he's got
I-
great content down the line.
This was a really
appreciate
fun
you, Alex.
stream.
It was.
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone who came on, Tidus, Marcel.
Especially Tidus.
Liam,
I love the non-talking for an hour.
I love all the things that he said. He said a lot. He said a great
He
of
said
many
many
things.
insightful things.
Well, when Tidus does come on, he says really funny things though.
True.
But
Yeah, like these nuts.
that was not one of them. Thanks to everyone in the comments though, and Alex said that he's gonna say something really deep now, so I'm gonna put Alex on the spot. I'm gonna
You got
click
this.
end broadcast at the end of Alex's sentence, so I leave it to you, Alex. I leave it in your hands. Please don't make it a
You're
Saloni
joking.
impactful joke.
I wasn't. I was joking. I wasn't gonna actually say anything, but now I have to.
Yes, now you have to. Go for it.
Everyone here loves the universe, and that's great. And want to show Lucas that the expanded universe is something worth continuing. We must show love to everyone, even those who blaspheme the name of the great EU. Do not respond in anger and sarcasm. I mean, maybe a little sarcasm when it comes to rhetoric toward the expanded universe. But make sure to show your love for the expanded universe, whether you like Disney canon, whether you hate Disney canon, I don't care. Just show your love for the EU. And maybe one day, Lucasfilm will get its head out of the butt and will finally give us more stories in the universe that we all love. And that's how I'll end it here. Long live the EU, and may this community prosper, and may the fandom continue to grow. How's that?